very good evening. If you're just joining us here at the Seat Unique Stadium in Bristol, Blackstock gets underway in 15 minutes time. A reminder that Gloucestershire won the toss and elected to bowl first. So let's take a check on the two teams, starting with our visitors from Essex. Number 17 is wicketkeeper Adam Rossington. Number 64, Dean Elgar. Number 19, Michael Pepper. 77, Jordan Cox. 22, Paul Walter. Number 20, Matt Critchley. Number 95, Daniel Sams. Number 11, Captain Simon Harmer. Number 99, Luke Benkenstein. Number 65, Ben Allison. Number 14, Aaron Beard. So that confirms your Essex starting 11. Let's take a check for the first time this summer on your Gloucestershire starting 11. Sponsored by Empire Fighting Chance, number 88, Miles Hammond. Number 4, our overseas star, sponsored by Pace, it's Cameron Bancroft. Kindly sponsored by Clifton Coffee Roasters, our wicketkeeper batter, number 25, James Bracey. Sponsored by the Waiting Game Group, number 67, Ollie Price. Sponsored by Pearcroft and making his T20 debut for the club, number 30, Bo Webster. Sponsored by BIE Magnum, number 64, Ben Charlesworth. Sponsored by Uplands Construction, it's our number 12, Graham Van Buren. Sponsored by Arthur David, number 10, Captain Jack Taylor. Sponsored by Another Level Projects, number 90, Marchand de Lange. And sponsored by Acronyms, number 14, David Payne. And sponsored by the Keynsham Courtyard, it's our number 36, Matt Taylor. And not forgetting, sponsored by Tockington Manor School, he's always number 1. It's Alfred the Gorilla, our beloved mascot. If you want a picture with Alfred, by all means stop him. Tweet us at Gloss Cricket, use the hashtag GoGloss, get yourself on the big screen, get a shout out this evening, enjoy your night with us. A reminder, Gloucestershire have won the toss and elected to bowl first.
Take you there, show you how you can. Just be aware. Well, good evening. Welcome to the Seat Unique Stadium in Bristol. The start of the T20, the reuniting of Mr. Dan Whiting with Gloucestershire Cricket.
And Mr. Ian Randall with Gloucestershire Cricket.
Pleasure to be back with you. Obviously, our colleague Ed Seaborn is doing, with other BBC colleagues, the Championship and the Royal London Cup. But for the T20, we are back with you to describe Gloucestershire's home games, all 7 of them, 4 here at the Seat Unique Stadium and 3 up at Cheltenham. Should just give you a bit of ticket news in terms of matches here in Bristol. The Somerset game, Dan, sold out?
Sold out, yeah, sold out. But there are tickets, so if you want to come and see Gloucestershire here in Bristol, next Friday against Hampshire, and next Sunday against Sussex.
That's an afternoon game,
that's
by the way.
Afternoon
that's
game.
The family day. And there's also a Western Storm game on that day, so you get 2 matches for the price of your ticket. Worth bearing in mind, the Storm game starts at 10:30.
Well, you like a deal, don't you, Ian?
We all like a deal.
We all like a deal.
And the deal tonight is that play will start at 6:30. The lights are on. It's forecast to stay dry. It was raining at home over the breakfast cereal this morning, but I think it was clear here in Bristol by about 9 o'clock, and the ground staff have had all day to get the ground ready, which is great.
Yeah, as I drove up the M4, there was little bits, not sort of nothing really heavy. I mean, you know, it wasn't the sort of stuff that you'd see Rishi Sunak calling a general election in, you know, that side of stuff, but it was a little bit, yeah.
So let's give you the toss and the team news. That's the important information. Gloucestershire won the toss and they have asked Essex to bat first. So Dan, I'll do the Essex team in a minute, but the Gloucestershire side?
Yeah, the Gloucestershire side is going to be Jack Taylor leading the troops, along with Cameron Bancroft, Miles Hammond, Bo Webster, Ben Charlesworth, Ollie Price, James Bracey, Graham Van Buren, Marshawn DeLunger, Matt Taylor and David Payne.
So just to remind you of the 15 that was selected, the players not in the final 11: Josh Shaw, Tom Smith, Ajit Singh Dale and Ed Middleton. Now the interesting thing for me is there is not a front line spinner in that 11. It's been a long time since Gloucestershire would have gone into a game without a front line spinner, and so many times that's been Tom Smith.
Yeah, definitely, and in Bristol it's often pace off the ball that works, isn't it? But you've got Ollie Price in there, you've got Graham Van Buren, and you've got Jack Taylor, and I reckon they'll get through some overs between the 3 of those.
So the Essex team, obviously this is the side that got to the final last year, lost to Somerset. Adam Rossington, Dean Elgar, the South African, Michael Pepper, Jordan Cox, who's been in great form in the Championship, 300s already this season. Paul Walter was a big success in the Big Bash during the winter. Matt Critchley, Daniel Sams, who Dan might talk about in a minute because he was the most valuable player in this competition last year. Simon Harmer, Luke Benkenstein, son of Dale, ironically now making his T20 debut against his father's former club. Ben Allison, who was previously on loan briefly with Gloucestershire, and Aaron Beard. So Daniel Sams last year could do no wrong.
No, he couldn't. He got, what did he get? He got
400 odd runs and 25 wickets.
419 runs and 25 wickets. He's played 7 T20 internationals for Australia. He came through the club colloquially known as the Randy Peats. That's Randwick Petersham in Sydney. And he's played for Sydney Sixes, Sydney Thunder. He's also played for Delhi Capitals in the IPL, but hasn't played that many red ball games, so he's a white ball specialist, but he's got a really good strike rate as well. He's striking at over 140.
So the question I suppose here is, and we might come to the size of the ground in a minute, here's the thing, if you look at short form cricket in this country now, you now have the competition that is going to generate a lot of money, hopefully, by the ECB. They've said today that I think Deloitte's are one of the companies who are going to actually be selling the shares.
Yeah.
But if you judge the strength of the squads on the number of players away with the 100, Essex have 6 of their 11 and Gloucestershire only have David Payne. So that indicates how hard a start this is for Gloucestershire when you've got Critchley, Pepper, Rossington, Walter, Sams, or he's in overseas, and Cox all playing in this year's 100.
Yeah, they're very, I mean, they're a decent outfit. Their batting lineup looks really strong. But I love the Vitality Blast, Ian. Traditional counties with history, traditional rivalries. You know, this is for me is short form cricket, the Vitality Blast T20.
So we'll come back to the playing area then here in Bristol. During the last championship game, the boundaries looked quite short. Now the pitch was quite a way over to one side of the square. Tonight the pitch almost central, but it still looks quite a short boundary to our commentary position, which is in the club office on the Kennington Avenue side. Now we know that Michael Clear used to have his own favourite corner on this ground, up towards the apartments. That he said that was the area you always used to be able to attack. But once again, it feels like it's slightly lopsided in that the longer straight boundary is towards the pavilion, the longer square boundary towards the mound stand, and that may influence which bowlers bowl from where.
It definitely will, and left-handers could be crucial in this as well. You know, you look at the Gloucestershire lineup, and
Essex have only two of their main batters, who are Elgar and Walter.
Yeah, whereas Hammond, Charlesworth, Bracey, you know, could all be crucial tonight.
So
they could all be very valuable.
Yeah,
exactly. But Essex look powerful as well. You know, someone like Adam Rossington gets in. I mean, these boundaries are nothing to a man of his power.
Yeah, just looking back to that Essex performance last year when they got to the final. Obviously Dan Lawrence has since departed, but Jordan Cox has come in from Kent and has looked really, really good. He's got 300s already. He's already over 700 first class runs. So you know he's going to be somebody you'd expect to be a big cog in this T20 team.
Huge. He's a brilliant fielder as well, even when he hasn't got the gloves. He's a wonderful fielder. I think he did a brilliant bit of work in finals day to get rid of Tom Abel, possibly, was it a couple of years ago, or maybe 3 years ago, I can't remember, where he flicked one back and somebody else caught it. So he's a wonderful fielder, but I think he's been a brilliant bit of recruitment for Essex. Dan Lawrence, you know, huge player, and then Jordan Cox comes in. He's a sandwich man, that's the town. It's not his like little job on the side in. So, but yeah, he's a wonderful cricketer. So the players take to the field, escorted on by Alfred the Gorilla. As always, good to see Alfred back, isn't it, Ian?
He did, when Rob Scanlon was doing the introductions tonight. Oh, that's the ground announcer for the T20. Alfred made his own entrance. Whether that was choreographed or not, I don't know. But he was certainly welcoming Rob back with open arms. So Essex, having been put in, walk to the wicket with Adam Rossington and Dean Elgar as their openers. Their kit is, as you can see, it's almost a navy blue with just flashes of pink on the sleeves, and Gloucestershire, of course, in their usual yellow and black.
Yep, this Adam Rossington, I've got to mention this thing because he's a Barnet fan and there's not many of us. So credit to Adam Rossington. So he came from Finchley Cricket Club as a youth, and David Payne is going to take us away from the pavilion end. So Payne just limbering up there. Jack Taylor at mid-off.
This, of course, is his first ball in first team cricket in 2024.
Yeah, remember there's a power play in T20 cricket as well. So the first 6 overs, you're only allowed 2 men outside, and one's at deep square and one down at backward point third. Here's Payne in, and Elgar defends, gets in behind that.
Not difficult to spot Bo Webster.
No.
Out there at short cover. He's a giant of a man.
He's a big boy, isn't he? Big bad Bo.
One slip in this first over.
Here's Payne. Rhythmical approach into the wicket. And that's out. Second ball. Elgar goes. Caught at sort of short third man gully region. and that's huge. David Payne strikes, and Elgar is a dangerous customer.
Caught by Graham Van Buren. Probably the best man to have in that position, because but for Bo Webster that would be a long way down from 6'7", whereas Graham Van Buren at probably 5'7". If you've seen some of the pictures of the two of them batting together in the championship game, you'll understand what I mean. But chopped away Elgar straight into the hands of Van Buren, and a bonus wicket.
It was a nothing shot for me though. It was just catching practice. He just fiddled at it, didn't he? Just thought he'd run it down in that gap between slip and the short third, and he got too much of it, didn't he? And it just went straight. It was just like catching practice.
So Michael Pepper in at number 3.
Yeah, he's
somebody else who can keep wicket if he needs to.
He certainly is. Yeah,
he's not doing so to the. Well, I'm assuming that Rossington will keep tonight.
And Essex have also had Buttleman. I think he got released at the end of last season, didn't he? Yeah. But Pepper played his club cricket originally at Cambridge Granter, which is where Zaman Akhtar of Gloucestershire originally started out. So I'm sure those two know each other.
Changing the field, they brought the offside in, so there's no sweeper now on the offside other than at deep point.
Payne to Pepper. Oh, bowled him! Payne strikes! 0 for 2, Gloucestershire are on fire!
A lovely sight for a fast bowler. That is middle stump knocked right out, and Pepper was very slow down on that.
Yeah, I mean that middle stump has gone cartwheeling, hasn't it? And James Bracey loves it. Payne, you can see now why he's so valuable in the Big Bash League, and people want his signature, because he struck here. He's got 2 wickets in 3 balls, and Essex are already looking down the barrel possibly.
So 0 for 2 as Jordan Cox walks to the wicket. Payne on a hat-trick in the first over. One supporter asked me on the way round the ground during the Derbyshire game, whether Payne was really chomping at the bit to play, and the information was desperately keen to get out there, really wants to get out there.
He looks wonderful. It's amazing what highlights can do in your hair. I think you should go for it, Ian.
So here's the hat-trick ball then to the man, probably the form batter in county cricket at the moment.
Yeah, 200. Was it last week or the week before? Here he comes. Here's Payne on a hat-trick to Jordan Cox, who drives him handsomely down the ground. That's 4 runs. That's one way to answer a hat-trick delivery, and that's a proper cricket shot there.
Pitched up enough that Cox could just play through the line. How far outside the off stump was actually? It's not. That's the ball that got. That's the ball that got Michael Pepper out, and it did just drift back in a little bit late on. Here's
Payne, and Cox just punches that backward as square. Van Buren can't pick it up cleanly, and Rossington, having watched all the carnage from the non-striker's end, is about to face his first delivery. But what a start this has been. What a start to the season, Ian.
Well, even a tight first over would have been a good thing, but to get 2 wickets,
especially Elgar and Pepper, who are, they're dangerous customers.
So Essex do bat deep.
Payne to Rossington, who carves that one down to third, where Ollie Price does the fielding, and they pick up 1. So 6 off the first over for 2 wickets, and that really is a great start from the hosts. Couple of hellos. We've got a couple of people to say hello to. We've got Ollie Price's grandfather, Joe, is watching at home. He's just recovering from a hip operation, so Ian and I hope you're recovering well, and hope you've enjoyed the start, Joe, as well. And Kevin Gardner watching in from Essex as well. He's enjoying it, not so much.
So Matt Taylor will open the bowling from the Ashley Down Road end. Interesting that Payne chose the Pavilion end, with Often his preference in white ball cricket being to bowl from the Ashley Down Road, but not tonight. So Matt Taylor to the chunky figure of Rossington. Is that wide outside the off stump? It's not wide enough, says our umpire, and it goes through to James Bracey. There was a bit of debate about whether Bracey or Cameron Bancroft might keep tonight. But the balance of the side, both obviously included, but in the end it's Bracey who's got the gloves, and Matt Taylor staying over the wicket to Rossington, who drives down the ground. A dive and a miss, unfortunately, from Jack Taylor. It's gone all the way for 4. Not a great deal of force on that, to be fair, but it is quite a short boundary up towards the Ashley Down Road, and Rossington's a powerful guy if he gets it out of the middle, and that was bunted into the ground past mid-off. It doesn't have far to run.
Yeah, he got 100 off 50 odd balls in a second 11 game as a warm-up this week, so he's in good nick.
Matt Taylor bowling the second over. Rossington appeal for an LBW. Not interesting anyone other than the fielding side. Probably going down leg side, I would think, looking at the replay.
Decent crowd in at Bristol tonight as well. Good to see the Bristol public turning out, and they'll have enjoyed the start to this game.
Taylor with that spring-heeled approach of his into Rossington, who can't fire it past Webster, who dives and affects a partial stop, but they don't run one on the misfield. It wasn't really a misfield anyway. It was a partial stop and then a full gather afterwards. So it's 10 for 2 in the second over.
Yeah, we're in the power play as well, which is sponsored by Cedar Care Homes. What do you think is a good score in the power play, Ian?
I think Essex would take 50 from here. Rossington steers that out into the offside. He'll pick up 1 down to Niles Hammond, who's out on the fence in front of the mound stand. I think if they could keep these two together and get themselves to 50 after 6 overs, they'd be reasonably happy with that.
Yeah, I agree. So what do you think's a pass score with these boundaries?
Marchant de Longa, the other main seam bowler for Gloucestershire tonight. Matt Taylor in again, and that's clipped short of mid-off. Not far short of mid-off, though, truthfully, by Jordan Cox. Jack Taylor fields on the bounce. End of a second over. Matt Taylor's over only costing 6. There was the boundary in it, though, just the 1. And Essex 11 for 2, having already lost in David Payne's first over both Dean Elgar and Michael Pepper.
Yeah, dot ball's a key, and that was a good over there from Matt Taylor. The dot ball is a hot ball, as the coaches say. Here's David Payne into Rossington, who drives nicely, but can only pick out Jack Taylor, who throws the ball back into James Bracey. Ball goes out to Bancroft, to Charlesworth, and the crowd.
Two men out, done both square, so deep square and a deep backward point.
Yeah, and with Rossington driving handsomely down the ground, I don't think he's going to get too many half volleys. There's one there. Payne, well, not a half volley, it's a good length delivery, but Rossington can make those good length deliveries into half volleys just with sheer power, and I think that's where he'll be targeting, is down the ground.
Used to be at Northants, of course.
Yeah, he did. He used to be at Middlesex before that. Payne. Rossington just opens the face, but can't get it past Van Buren. It's short third. This is good bowling here from the two left armers. Payne and Taylor keeping it nice and tidy.
Did you see the article, just briefly mentioned this, about Essex looking to develop Chelmsford, possibly spending £40 million?
Yeah, I saw that.
So staying at the county ground rather than move.
Payne in, and that's a little feather. Rossington goes, caught behind by Bracey. Payne now has 3. Whoa, did you expect this, Ian Randall?
Not with Essex's batting lineup, no. But David Payne absolutely on the money here in this opening spell. Question is, how many does Jack Taylor give him? Rossington's quite deep in his crease here, but it's just in the right line, isn't it? It's just where Rossington tries to play a firmer shot than that, but gets too little on it. And Bracey says thanks very much. It's
Just
11 for 3.
Yeah, I think that might have just taken the glove actually, or it was a very faint edge, wasn't it? But everyone knew Rossington walks, and Payne has got 3 for not many.
3 for 6.
3 for 6 off 1 point off 10 balls. Yeah, absolute quality. Paul Walter is the new man at the crease from Hornchurch in the Essex League, and it was his birthday the other day. Let's see if David Payne can wish him not many happy returns. Walter just plays that into the onside. Essex now need to consolidate, don't they?
Yeah, you wouldn't. I mean, normally sides don't like to lose more than 1 wicket in the power play. If you're 3 down, suddenly the margin for error later on becomes much less.
This is a really good start. Remember, this is the side who just missed out on the trophy last year, as that's pitched up and Payne fields out his own bowling, and that's a cracking over there. That's a maiden. 11 for 3, a wicket maiden there for David Payne, and they're priceless in T20 cricket.
So, well, I don't know what Jack Taylor's plan would have been for Payne, but after 2 opening overs like that, I'd be tempted
I'll keep him.
Yeah,
I'll keep him going.
I'm tempted to give him at least 1 more.
Yeah. Yeah, I think. I don't think you want the pace of DeLunga in the power play when you can't have men out, because I think it's too easy just to deflect him, ramp him, that sort of stuff.
So Matt Taylor's going to bowl over number 4.
We saw a game last year where I think it was Ben Wells opening up, wasn't it, who ramped and deflected well.
Taylor in. Again, Cox goes back into his crease, just pushes it out on the offside.
And if you're watching this at home, Ben, I hope you're well, mate, and I hope everything's okay and everything works out for you, and that's from everyone here at Gloucestershire County Cricket Club.
Beyond Walter, Critchley, Sams, into the bowlers. So Essex have only really got maybe 3 wickets at most to play with amongst the genuine batters here. Again, using these feet, Jordan Cox, but plays it into the ground, and Matt Taylor fields off his own bowling.
Both these two are quality players, though, and Sams as well. Both of them are destructive. Walter can pick up 6s from nowhere, get those long levers going.
For Taylor, only 1 man out. That's a deep point. Sweeper on the leg side is Ollie Price. They're going to come back for 2. That wasn't really middled by Jordan Cox. He didn't time it at all.
No, he got a little bit lucky there. He didn't go over Bancroft's head by much there at mid-wicket.
So in terms of the field, the slipper's gone. There is a fielder at short third. And everybody else saving 1. Bracey with a bit of a fumble on Taylor's delivery. Gloucestershire at the moment could be, it's good discipline obviously not to bowl wides, but particularly at the minute they've got to just try and let the ball do the work for them, because it does seem as if there's a little bit in this pitch.
Dot balls, dot balls, dot balls. That's the way forward here. Just keep it nice and tight, and if they can restrict Essex to 130, 140 from here.
Taylor in. Feet of Cox tries to work it past Bo Webster, but can't do it. Webster's at short cover on the single.
The Ashley Down Road end, the Jack Russell stand, the Marker Lane stands down there, colloquially known to all and sundry as the south of France end here. People soaking up it's a pleasant evening here in Bristol, isn't it?
Still need a coat probably. Here's Taylor in. Oh, that's gone a long way. He's really connected with that, Jordan Cox. That's the first maximum that's the first 6 of the evening to that shortest boundary up towards what we'll call Michael Klinger corner. Away over wide, long on. First time he's really picked that up. That was on off stump, mind you. It wasn't really a half volley, but the first 6, and Essex 19 for 3 after 4, and Payne is going to be taken out of the tackle. We're going to see Bo Webster.
Yeah, boundary sponsored by Croft as well, the telecoms company, and that's the first 6 of the game, and I think that would have been a 6 on most grounds. I know it's a short boundary down there, but it went quite a long way over the stand. Not quite as far as your automobile parked behind it, Ian, but...
I'm going to show my age here. When I looked at Webster bowling in the championship, he reminded me a bit, Dan Whiting, of John Snow, because his right arm starts very low in the actual delivery of the ball.
Okay.
Which Snow's did.
Yeah, it's quite slingy.
So you judge if that's a fair comparison or not.
Here he is. Yeah. It's quite a nice action, actually. That's a lovely shot there by Walter. 4 runs straight through the covers. That's a really good shot. Elegant.
His was quite a story in the Big Bash last winter, wasn't it? Because I think he wasn't expected to be, didn't have the profile of somebody who thought was going to be a big player, but he turned out to be a big player.
Yeah. Tall Paul, as they know him in the East. And that's another pleasant shot, and it's just parried there by Jack Taylor, who pushes it past Ben Charlesworth, wrong foots him. And ball comes in from the boundary, so 25 for 3 now, Essex. Looking to rebuild, but also conscious that in the power play you have to take full advantage. Webster to Walter. And that's Walter looking to flick that over mid-wicket and misses that one completely. I think that one's just jagged away a little. Yes, it has, quite considerably actually. Walter looking a bit perplexed there.
I don't say he charged towards the ball, but he went a good stride forward to meet it, didn't he?
Yep. Battle of the tall boys here. Walter and Webster. That's been parried there by Jack Taylor, and Martian de Lange cleans up behind him. So they scamper through for a single. 26 for 3 now. Cox is on 13. Walter on 7. Crowd just... There's that hum, isn't there? You know, when Gloucestershire are going well and there's that hum round this ground of people just intrigued, people just concentrating on the cricket. Webster. Cox about to face the first delivery from Webster, and that's just angled into the onside, and they amble through for an easy single.
When T20 started, sides would have panicked in these situations, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Now, most teams don't.
No. Most sides bat down to sort of 9 or 10. Be interesting to see. I'll come on to it actually after this ball from Webster to Walter, Shaw and pulled, but can only pick out Ollie Price out deep mid-wicket.
That didn't get up very much. I just wondered whether that's the shorter boundary. With the left-hander, he might have been really looking to middle that and pull that towards where some of the marquees and the food outlets are, but he didn't really time it. So maybe that's the indication that there isn't a lot of pace in this pitch.
No. Have you seen in the Cricket World Cup there's going to be a timer? You've got to have 60 seconds between deliveries as well, which is something that I think should be brought in to here as well. I mean, some of the IPL games go on for over 4 hours. I mean, it's got to be speeded up. So there's going to be a timer now, and you get a warning, then a second warning, then a 5-run penalty. So it'll be interesting to see how that works.
So 9 off that Webster over. And here is Marchant de Lange for the first time tonight from the Ashley Down Road end. That's forced off into the ground by Paul Walter, again past Webster. Again a partial stop. So this is the last over of the power play. Well, I think Gloucester should be, if this is a relatively economical over, I think they'll be very pleased.
I agree.
And perhaps we should be lowering our sights in terms of what a good competitive total might be on this pitch. Normally, I'll come back to that after this ball from De Lange. And slashed at. Away to the leg side did Jordan Cox. Tried to crash it through the off and didn't get a touch.
It might be a sluggish pitch, but that makes no difference to Marshall De Lange, because through the air, it doesn't matter how the pitch is. He's quick.
I don't think necessarily there'll be all that much pitched right up by De Lange. He might go back of a length here. Well, that is short and actually very well spotted by Cox. He's going to get 4 runs for that. Very, very fine. Down towards the pavilion. No, it might have been a slower ball, but he certainly read it. It was almost like a tennis ball bounce. And Cox adjusted. You see how short this might be, but you can't really tell from that.
Just helped it on his way, hasn't he?
How short that was, but he had time just to help it way out of the reach of James Bracey and down to the rope. 33 for 3 Essex. Here's De Lange in the 6th over. That's gone aerial over the infield. Risk-free shot from Jordan Cox.
6.
And that's gone to the longest boundary for 6.
That's huge.
That's a good hit. Well, that's going to be 80 yards out there easily.
Yeah.
And
just giving himself a little bit of room there, hasn't he? And gone over the top of extra cover. That's a really good shot. Innovative from Jordan Cox.
So De Lange's over the most expensive of the match so far. But Essex conscious that this is the last over of the power play. De Lange in, and that's gone straight down the ground as well from Cox, and that's 6 more. That is quite a short boundary down there. But Dan and I were talking before the game about which end Marchand De Lange might actually bowl from, and we both thought it might be the pavilion end. But his opening over has proved expensive from the Ashley Down Road end. He wants a change in the field. He's going to put Matt Taylor back at long on.
I think having been driven over, well, he's brought the man up now, so maybe it's not.
Cox has made 30 out of 45. He slapped that away, there'll be 4 more. That's gone past the dive of Miles Hammond at extra cover. And what did we say? 50 for 3 would be all right. And they've got 21 off that last over from Marchand De Lange. And that's made a massive difference to Essex's start.
Yeah, I thought that Cox there wouldn't be getting that in his half of the wicket, having driven De Lange for 6 over extra cover, then over long off. They've then brought the man up and they still gave him another one full. I thought maybe he should have got one round the chops. Bit of chin music perhaps.
Well, at the first opportunity through the power play, Graham van Buren is on, and he's got 2 men out on the leg side for the left-hander.
Cox is already on 34. Here's Walter about to face Van Buren, who plays that out to Cameron Bancroft at deep mid-wicket.
So how will Cox attack the Gloucestershire slow left armour?
So you've got Jack Taylor, short extra cover. Bancroft's moved into backward point now.
Huge gap on the leg side. That's a big boundary there. I mean, if he plays the right shot, he can get 2 anywhere.
Van Buren, and he smashed that through the offside. De Lange's after it. Oh, that's a brilliant bit of fielding by the big man. And a throw.
He's done really well.
He's done really well
on the stretch. Keep that down to 2.
Yeah. Cox absolutely crunched that one through the offside. Van Buren in. Cox again goes looking for the big shot, the forcing shot off the back foot. But Van Buren tidily mops up. Here he comes in, and Cox plays that one straight to De Lange.
Looks like Walter is just playing the cool, calm role of rotating the strike here. at the moment.
Yeah, but he can let his levers go. Van Buren in, Walter plays him through mid-wicket, picks out Cameron Bancroft. Ollie Price long on or long off to the right-hander.
Cox is in such a rich vein of form at the moment, and he started really well here, 37 off 18.
Van Buren in, and that's driven. Jack Taylor on the edge of the discs there, fielding, and keeps them down to 1. So 55 for 3 at the end of the 7th. And I think on this pitch, I think still you need 180-ish minimum. Short boundaries, I think you're going to need 180 odd.
Unsurprisingly, Marchant de Long has been taken off after 1 over for 21. So Bo Webster's going to change ends. And this was the end he bowled from in the Championship. So he's got a long on and a long off back for Cox, and a deep mid-wicket and a deep square. That's punched out to long off, where they'll just take 1. Lovely blue sky over Bristol just at the moment. The sun is out, the lights are on.
Hasn't always been like that.
Oh no. And we should say that in the last 9 games between Gloucestershire and Essex, 5 of them have not had a ball bowled at all, which is a dreadful record. 4 of those have been at Chelmsford, we should say, not here. Here is Webster to Paul Walter. Again, that's short. It's hooked into the air. I think that's going to drop safe. Just.
Yeah, I think that's
Charlesworth coming in, I think, off the rope at wide long on.
I think that's come off the splice there, isn't it?
He's got a bit tight with the shot. It's gone up, and Charlesworth 2 strides short probably from reaching it. Bracey standing probably 15 yards behind the stumps for Webster. That's short from him. Pulled by Jordan Cox, and he get 1. That might be pace off again from Webster. Tends to be pace off is the way here at Bristol. You look at Gloucestershire's success down the years with
Elaine and Harvey.
Yeah, and the likes of Benny Howell bowling any kind of mixture of pace, and the slow bowlers as well. And obviously Tom Smith not available tonight because of injury, we gather. Here is Walter, driven pleasantly but too firm and away for any more than 1, up to long off. 59 for 3 in the 8th.
Saying that, Essex, I think, will miss Sam Cook. Sam Cook's a wonderful red ball bowler, but he's also got the skills in white ball cricket as well, hasn't he? And I think he's had a little bit of a hamstring strain, and I think they'll miss him tonight.
Cox on 40 already. Down the ground once more. That's more of a little sandwich of a shot. You'll just take the 1.
Sandwich by the man from Sandwich.
There you go. That's in Kent, of course, not Essex. So after those 3 wickets in the first 3 overs, 2 in the first over, 1 in the third, Essex rebuilding from 11 for 3. Webster in, pulled by Walter. That's not going to be cut off by anybody. That's going to go all the way for 6.
That caught in the crowd. Oh, he's dropped it. I think the lad's dropped it. Get to fielding practice, son.
It was still a good hit, mind you. Paul Walter standing tall, and just a whip through the shot.
Oh, straight through his hands. Ian Randall would have snaffled that.
11 off the over, 66 for 3 after 8.
You'd have had that one, Ian, wouldn't you?
Probably in my prime, Dan. Only.
Van Buren from the pavilion end. Sure, and that could be 4. A good dive there out in the deep by Webster. Couldn't quite get those long arms to it though, but I thought it was straight down his throat at first, but he's hit that straight.
And quite flat too.
Yeah. Wasn't a million miles away from Webster, but he And it was also not a million miles away from a 6 either, just dropping about 6 inches short of the boundary.
Would have been an outstanding catch had he clung on.
You'd have held out to your prime as well, Ian. Van Buren. Short and played out to long off, where Ollie Price does the fielding, gets the ball out of his hands quickly,
I mean, this
and keeps them down to 1. That's good cricket from Ollie Price.
This first half of the Essex innings has been a one-man show at the moment.
Completely. He's got 46 out of 71 of 24 balls. But we've seen here before that one person can just take the game away. We saw Will Smead for Somerset last year. Here's Van Buren. That's well bowled. Walter digs out that. They scamper through for a single as Charlesworth does the fielding in the covers. That innings from Will Smead last year in the game against Somerset, it ruined the game. It just took the game away and it was dead as a contest. Oh, that's almost caught and bowled there. Cox has drilled that back at Van Buren, who parries that and can't quite cling on.
It's a great stop more than a drop for me, this. It's going so quickly. It's one of those that either sticks or it doesn't. It would have been a real reaction. One-handed caught and bowled, and Van Buren clung on to that.
Here he is. Walter just nurdles that one into the onside, and Cameron Bancroft does the fielding out at deep mid-wicket.
The crowd have gone a bit quieter after those 3 early wickets.
Another one now would liven them up. Here's Gloucestershire's red ball skipper. That's played in the air. Picks out Bancroft on the deep cover boundary. And that completes the 9th over. 75 for 3.
So 9 off it. Essex have, since that De Lange over, they've scored steadily. That's been the impetus for them.
I think that's good T20 cricket. Is, you know, if you can milk 2-3 overs in an innings where you take it for 20 and then just work 8-9 out the others.
So here's a big call. De Lange coming back.
Yeah, and again from the Ashley Down Road end.
Yep, long on, deep mid-wicket, deep, square leg, all out. And that's gone in the air from Jordan Cox. It should be taken, and it is. It is.
Good captain, see that from Jack Taylor. A lot of people there wouldn't have brought Marshall De Lange back. Jack Taylor had the confidence to do so, and he gets the danger man Jordan Cox out for 48.
Ben Charlesworth with the catch. Didn't quite reach one earlier on, but 48 off 27 is still an important innings from Jordan Cox. He's given Essex a start in this first T20 match of the season. You know, to get to 75 in the 9th over still is a decent effort. The problem for Essex is they have now lost 4 wickets. And
that's a great innings though there from Jordan Cox. Credit to him. Really, really good innings. You know, he's under pressure. His side have lost a couple of early wickets. He's come in and he's put Essex back in the game here.
Matt Critchley in at number 6. Average is 22 in this form of the game, so got over 120 appearances in T20, so he's pretty experienced. Here's De Lange to bowl to him. He's played that into the ground. Chopped to Webster, and he's been sent back quite rightly by Paul Walter because the throw's coming in quickly from Webster. And his fellow Aussie Bancroft is the backing up.
He might average 22, but he strikes at over 120. He's got a decent strike rate, Critchley. He's a good fielder, and he can bowl, bowls lovely leg spin as well.
De Lange, familiar push off at the start of his run. Played with wrists over the ball by Critchley to get underway with a single out of Van Buren.
You're a kind man, Ian. I thought he clossed that a little bit, but you're a kind man.
This is the halfway point. This over marks the halfway point in the innings. 3 balls to go to get to the midpoint. You still think 180, do you? To me, the 4 wickets down are the problem. That might prevent them getting that far. DeLonge to Walter. Pitched right up, dug out by Walter up to Ollie Price at mid-off.
But while Walter's there, anything's possible. He's such a good short format. Well, he's a good cricketer in any format. But while Walter's there, that presents a problem for Gloucestershire. And they will want to see the back of him pretty quickly.
DeLonge into Walter down the leg side. First wide. Haven't had a wide yet. That's good discipline. If Gloucestershire can keep the wides to a minimum. That was down the leg side. First one they've given away. I saw my shot on the way in today about 3:15. Usual beaming smile from him to greet everybody. Shakes hands with everybody.
He's a lovely man.
Politest man in cricket, I would think. DeLonge in. Slapped by Walter up to mid-off, but no run there. And this is a really good comeback, this over.
Yeah,
really good.
I mean, he's got to go some to be politer than Dominic Goodman or the Price brothers. He has to go some, Ian. But he is a very polite man.
He crosses the rope.
He's a different man.
He's a different individual. DeLonge, apartments behind him. Again, that's almost Yorker length, and Walter scampers a single. But to come back, we'll give only 3 away in that over from DeLonge. That's a good effort from him, with Cox being the man out in that over. He made 48 out of their 79, and there is the Manhattan with the big DeLonge over number 6, the last one of the power play. 79 for 4. They have to go at 10 and over to get 100 to set Gloucestershire 180 to win from here. Well, Gloucestershire will be absolutely keen that there isn't a big over somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. There's Ollie Price looking to turn the ball away from the left-handed Walter, who smashes that one back at him. We saw him take a wonderful caught and bowled here. I think it was a game against Glamorgan in the T20, Ollie Price. Here he is. Walter screams that one through the offside. No one's cutting that one off. 4 runs. Bit of width there from Price. You want to keep Walter away from giving him room to swing those long arms of his. Keep it round Midland leg. Price in. Walter goes for a big heave over the leg side, and they scamper through for a leg bye. Ball just dribbles out to Matt Taylor there at short third.
So this is Jack Taylor's 6th bowler that he's used, and all the other bowlers have bowled 2 overs, so he's got all sorts of options for this second half of the innings.
Yeah. Price. Just young lady in the crowd there in Critchley's eye line. So he just works that one into the onside, picks up an easy single. Yeah, I think the young lady over there in the crowd has been enjoying herself. Lady in the brown coat just held up play there in Critchley's eye line next to the side screen. Price in. Walter whips him through mid-wicket, and then Van Buren runs round from deep backward square.
Are you suggesting there might be a party at the cricket, Dan?
Oh, they're enjoying themselves. It's what it's about. Friday night in Bristol, Thursday night even in Bristol. But, you know, what more do you want? That's just again nudged into the onside as Webster comes and does the fielding.
Would they take half a dozen overs at 6 and over?
Yeah, I think they would. I think Gloucestershire would as well. I think they, 11 overs.
8 off that Ollie Price over.
So what does that work out? Say the next 6 go for 40. That's 126. You're probably looking at 160. I think Gloucestershire would take 160. I still think it's 180 par. These boundaries. I just think sometimes if you nail one, the fielders don't even move. Bo Webster's going to come back into the attack.
So a third over for the overseas all-rounder. Did really well in the Big Bash last year. Interesting, he's down to bat at 5 today. We had a discussion with a couple of supporters earlier today. Thought he might bat at 3, which is where he was batting most of them in the Big Bash. Critchley to face him. And again, that's back of a length and just chopped out to Jack Taylor on the offside, no run.
That's what he does all day, doesn't he? Just bowls a heavy ball, just back of a length, hits the splice.
So again, 3 out on the leg side. There's a wide third man and a deep point. Perhaps he's got the shorter leg side boundary to cope with. That's steered into the gap on the offside by Critchley. They'll just pick up 1. Out to Miles Hammond.
Yeah, do you think Essex would settle and Gloucestershire would settle for 6 and over for the next 6? Takes them off to what, 17 overs to 126.
A bit more than that, probably. Essex want to be.
Yeah, I think they'd want to be a little bit more than that.
I think with 160, they'd be in the game at 160.
Yeah, I agree.
It might not be a winning score, but they'd fancy they'd be in the game with that.
You never know. It could be. It could well be. You never know.
There was a game here, I think that maybe you and I did against, is it a Surrey game, 128 playing 129?
Yeah.
Here's Webster in, clipped into the gap again, this time by Walter. There is a fielder out at deep mid-wicket. Once again, it's Hammond, who says down to open with Cameron Bancroft.
That's Walter's get-out shot there, isn't it? Straight ball. He'll work it through mid-wicket and just pick up the 1.
88 for 4 in the 12th. The card dominated by Jordan Cox's 48. But he is now out. Worked again by Critchley this time for a single. Out to Cameron Bancroft at deep square. Just quietly rotating the strike. Essex.
Yeah, they are. They are there. You can see they're a good T20 side. They haven't panicked from their early, the early shenanigans that went on, have they? They haven't they just did not, it didn't faze them in any shape or form.
Webster in his third over. Walter full toss and hit by Walter out. 2 bounces to Ben Charlesworth. He'll just get 1.
You didn't get hold of that, Walter. I think it hit the bottom of the bat.
I don't know whether did he really want to? Or was he
just working the 1? Just working the 1.
Yeah, was playing the safe option. Critchley again just picks the single up to long on. Ollie Price is there. I mean, these two, we mentioned Critchley as a batter. Paul Walter, he's got 6 50s in T20 cricket, highest score of 78. So he's a handy performer.
Yeah, Critchley, when he was at Derbyshire, was their youngest ever century maker. So he's got pedigree.
So Webster's only got 1 over left now, and Graham Van Buren will only have 1 after this over, so he's coming back to bowl the 13th.
They say double the score after 12 overs. Do you think that would give them 182?
Yeah. These two would have to stick around for quite a long time.
Van Buren in as that's carved away through the offside, but no run there as DeLunger at backward point. How often he's fielded at backward point in his career, but he's certainly there now. That's in, and again try to force that into the offside and can't get it past Jack Taylor.
We don't know how effective Luke Bengenstone is going to be on his debut. Essex have got 3 frontline spinners in their team. Harmer, Critchley and young Benkenstein.
This is good from Van Buren. 3 dot balls to start the over. Pressure's on now. Pressure's on Critchley. Can he find a boundary? That's drilled down the ground, only to pick out Bo Webster for a single. This is very good from Grant Van Buren, using all of his experience, all of his nous. Walter whips that one through square leg to De Lange, who uses that javelin arm to throw it in. The javelin champion, wasn't he, in South Africa?
Well, there was
Schoolboy.
a really good stop on the boundary early on from him.
That's again well bowled from Van Buren, just varying his pace, varying the loop, some flatter, some slower, and that's a really, really good over. Just 3 runs off it at this stage of the game.
Okay, it's that time, our first scatter blast of the season.
So 7 overs to go. Van Buren has 1 left, Webster has 1 left, and De Lange is coming back for a 3rd over. So apart from the first 4 overs, Jack Taylor's really shuffled his bowlers round, not giving the Essex batters any chance to settle against one bowler. A slower ball from De Lange outside the off stump and stopped, if not taken cleanly, by Bracey.
That's well bowled. I'm just watching Alfred the Gorilla here, because they have this scatter blast thing here where they throw goodies into the crowd. And Alfred's overcooked that one and thrown it straight over the mound stand and into the car park next to the cottage.
Hope someone's there to catch whatever it was. De Lange in short and off the bottom half of the bat by Critchley up to long on. Ollie Price again does the fielding. So Walter's got to try and glue this innings together, you think, from here. He's got 30.
Yeah, he's definitely got to. He needs to be there with, well, till the end, really, doesn't he?
95 for 4 in the 14th. De Lange in his 3rd over. Again, that's full. He thought that was going to hit him right on the head, and he just had a friendly pat of the glove with.
I've never seen a man 6'7" cowering like that.
I don't know where he thought that was going to go, but it went into the ground first, and De Lange just ducked. Look at Walter's grin. Look at Walter's grin.
Oh, great to see.
One of those things. Critchley waits for De Lange. Short. Hit into the air. Not timed. And short of the fielder. Cameron Bancroft coming in. He wasn't going to reach it. He got it on the top half of the bat. Matt Critchley. He's not found it easy to time out there.
No. Only Cox has looked really fluent. Walter's been circumspect and worked the bowling around. But only Cox has looked really fluent out there, hasn't he?
97 for 4 in the 14th. They're like a short. Pulled around the corner, and Webster, can he stop it? Oh, he can't. Right on the rope. It's just got past him, and it's brought up the Essex 100 in the 14th over. De Lange will be frustrated by that, because after an expensive first over, he's come back really well, taking the important wicket of Cox. And I think on another day Webster would stop that. In fact, he did stop it, but just the actual trajectory of the ball saw it run to the rope. Off the bottom of Walter's bat, he squeezed that away.
Oh,
and
good
that's a good shot. Right between the two fielders at sort of a straightish mid-wicket on the fence and a long on, and he's got 4 out of that. It's an expensive end to the over. 11 off it in the end from Marchant De Lange.
Yeah, I think he could be a handful on this wicket when he bowls Walter as well. I'm not sure how much he bowls these days. I think he bowls quite a bit in T20 cricket, but he can generate bounce, or he used to be able to generate bounce when I saw him a few years ago.
Still need 10 and over from the Essex from here to be in the game. So Matt Taylor coming back.
Yeah, Taylor coming in from the pavilion end now.
He's got 2 overs left if needed.
Well, I think Taylor has to bowl 4 and David Payne has to bowl 4, doesn't he? Here he is. There's that. Worked backward a square for a single.
A reminder of the wickets that fell earlier. Rossington caught by Bracey off Payne. Elgar caught by Van Buren off Payne. That was in the second ball for naught. Pepper bowled by Payne, third ball for naught. Cox caught by Charlesworth off Delanga for 48.
Taylor to Walter, who plays that one into the offside, but Jack Taylor's there. Field spread. So the 4 men in the discs are Jack Taylor, extra cover, and then you've got a backward point, a short third, and a short fine leg where Graham Van Buren is. You've got a deep square and a deep mid wicket. Ollie Price down here at long on. That's played by Taylor, and Ollie Price can't cut that one off. Even though Taylor got a hand on that shot from Walter, it was venomous. And goes for 4. Bo Webster's out long off, and then you've got a deep point out there. I think that's Charlesworth right out there, isn't it? I can't see that far. You've got glasses in. Taylor in. Walter, that goes up in the air. Bracey should take an easy catch, and that's Walter bounced out there by Matt Taylor. 110 for 5. Taylor strikes.
That's an important wicket. That's the glue of the innings potentially gone for the closing stages. Walter made 43. His 43 and Cox's 48. There's nothing else in that Essex card at all.
No, and we've seen T20 cricket. What wins you games is someone who gets in and goes and gets a big one. And they've got starts, those two, without going on and getting that 70, 80, the match-winning innings. But Gloucestershire have still got to bat here. This Essex attack is decent. And this man who's just come to the crease was last year's most valuable player in T20 cricket. He can bat and he can bowl.
Yeah, just give you the bowling figures as they stand at the moment. David Payne, 2 overs, 3 for 6. Webster, 3 overs for 25. Delanga, 3 overs, 1 for 35, but one of those overs cost 21. Van Buren, 3 overs for 18. Ollie Price, 1 over for 7. So the spinners have done quite a tidy job, actually.
Yeah, they have. Taylor to Sams, who's just played that back. That's good bowling from Matt Taylor.
I think Essex would definitely take 160 from here.
Definitely going to take 160. What, 5.1 overs to score 50?
Only 5 off this over and a wicket so far.
And David Payne to bowl 2 of those 5, and Matt Taylor probably the other one. Sams plays that into.
No, Josh Shaw's on the field.
Also, yeah, sure.
So why is he out there?
Is he on for?
Is Delanga gone off?
No, I think Delanga's out at mid-on.
Delanga is out there.
Yeah. Shaw's going off.
Webster, I think.
And yeah, Webster's come back on.
So David Payne to return to the attack from the Ashley Down Road end.
Josh Shaw's been good in Championship cricket as well, hasn't he?
He's got some runs.
Yeah, yes. and some wickets at the top of the order.
Got a 30 odd yesterday in the.
Pleased for him. He's
in the seconds in the T20 warm-up game.
He's a good man, Josh. He's been on the microphone with us many a time, hasn't he, over the last few years? They don't allow him to do ball by ball anymore because the Gloucestershire wicket tends to fall when he's on.
Payne in to Sams, who steers that to Bo Webster. So 5 overs to go, 111 for 5. Gloucestershire would love to keep Essex below 150 if they could. This man might have a big hand in doing so. 2 overs, 3 for 6. What a start. Now, can he back it up here at the end of the innings? Payne in. Sams. Oh, it's in the air. Payne. Oh, he can't quite reach it on the court and bowled. Just completely miscued that. Misjudged the pace of the ball, the pitch of it. Just got in a terrible tangle. And Payne just short of a caught and bowl that would have made it 111 for 6.
Yeah, he was trying to work that onside there, Sam's. Just trying to nurdle the single into the onside and gets a leading edge sort of off the splice, wasn't it? And goes up in the air. But Payne, despite being a tall man, he can't quite get his hands to the ball.
Just looking at the shape of the ball, whether it had gone out of shape or not. Gloucestershire asked the question, but the umpire that came back as a negative. Only 2 extras in this innings so far, 1 leg by and 1 wide. Again, that's really good from Gloucestershire to keep those extras right down. Sams in the air towards Charlesworth. He can't quite reach it. In fact, he's gone past him, and he's had to recover that, and they've gained a second run.
Yeah, it's really good discipline. 2 extras at this stage of the game. Really, really good from Gloucestershire. You know, Mark Allane's come in as coach is something that he's probably worked on with them as well. He's a wonderful one-day cricketer, won all those trophies with Gloucestershire around the end of the 90s, early 2000s.
Payne in again to Sams. He's kept that again in the air wide of Charlesworth, and that's going to go all the way to the boundary. It's gone in fact for 6 on the full, almost on the full from the bat, all the way over the rope.
Wow, that was a short arm jab.
Here's the replay of it. It was made a little bit of room, but that's a long boundary out there.
Good grief. What sort of bats he got?
Sams waits again and clips it straight to Jack Taylor. Was that a slower ball from Payne? Sams didn't pick it if it was, and the skipper has the catch, and Payne has another wicket. 4 for him in the game. Gave himself room, but didn't find anything like the power he wanted, and you can see Jack Taylor's celebration at removing Sams. Again, that's an important wicket, bearing in mind how he can, as we've seen last season, really have a big influence.
He's a wonderful finisher at the end of the innings, isn't he, Daniel Sams? And he's they'll be really glad to see the back of him. This guy can bat though, Simon Harmer. He's no fool with the bat. And if David Payne can pick up a fifer, who's had David Payne in their fantasy cricket team, you'll be picking up the points. No, I didn't do it actually. So, you'll be in clover.
4 for 14.
Yeah,
is a way to announce your return.
And you take that 6 out of it, it'd be, you know, that Sam's just hit on the 4th ball this over. It would be 4 for 8 after 3 overs. T20 cricket. What's going on out there, Ian? What is going on?
That's kind of shades of Mike Smith in the early days, in terms of being miserly. 4 overs after this. Harmer waits and wants a signal but won't get it. And Payne gets a good hand at the end of that over. He's bowled 4 overs, 1 maiden. Sorry, 3 overs, 1 maiden. 4 for 14. There are the other figures. Matt Taylor and Marchant DeLong are the wicket takers.
Yeah.
And really only 1 bad over out of the 16.
Yeah, he's loved down here, isn't he, David Payne? Really popular man in the West Country, Dorset lad. And you can see how important he is to Gloucestershire's white ball chances. This is a strong group as well, the Southern group. All 4 sides on finals day last year came out the South group. This is a strong group, and David Payne take 4 for 14 against last year's runners-up. That's quality, Ian.
So Webster to bowl his last over. Ollie Price bowling just the 1 means that Gloucestershire have got a little bit of flexibility if they need it.
Drilled down the ground there by Critchley. Webster just looking to bowl that nagging length, back of a length. Harmer, I think, might go inside out here. I think he might go over the top of Jack Taylor here. Extra cover down towards our commentary position. Got Graham van Buren at mid-off. And you've got, I think that's Ollie Price out there at point. But it's hard to do that when Webster's just angling it into your legs, back of a length. And that's just nudged into the onside. Gloucestershire will take 1 a ball from here. Absolutely.
Be 1-4-5 if that's the case. Essex are probably going to get a boundary or two in there, but
Webster again. Harmer goes for a big swing, cloths it somewhat. They think about a second, but Van Buren and Ollie Price combination.
There is a television programme about property where the same word is repeated 3 times. You know the one I mean.
Yes, I'm aware of it, yeah.
I think that the instruction here is pace off, pace off, pace off.
Yeah.
If you get the message.
Yes. Yes. Webster again. Oh, that's good bowling. Dot ball at this stage of the game. Very good from Bo Webster. Crowd a little bit quiet tonight. I don't know if the cider's broken, if the cider pump's broken down here in the West Country.
Do you think they are more noisy when Gloucestershire bat? I
think they will be. Give them an hour or so. Get the Thatchers down them. That's gone up in the air. That could well be. No, it's fallen safely. DeLunger can't quite get there. Nor can Cameron Bancroft.
I just wonder whether actually that might have been after one of those sort of after you, Claude, kind of moments. But he wasn't sure. He went alongside the ball rather than running towards it. DeLunger. Yeah. That was an odd one.
Yeah. He's got quite a bit of distance to make. He's quite backward there at point.
But he took the rural route rather than the motorway to get to the ball.
He did, yeah, he did. He went down the B roads, didn't he? He went up the A38 to Gloucester instead of up the M5 here. Here's Bo Webster. Yorker speared in, and Critchley gets a thick inside edge and goes down to fine leg. Great over there. Webster finishes none for 30 off 4. And showing exactly why he's come in as Gloucestershire's overseas this stage of the innings to only go for 5. He's good cricket.
Yeah, these two protecting the tail from here, aren't they, really?
Yeah, they are. I think they're going to nudge it about and for one more over and then have a swing. They've got to, surely.
Well, it depends what they think.
It's a good score.
Depends what they think a manageable score is.
Yeah, I think Harmer will be quite hard to get away on this.
DeLunger with his last over. Slower ball. Picks, though, by the figure of Critchley, who's got 14. Probably all in singles, I'm guessing. I haven't got a scorebook in front of me, but I don't mind betting there are not many runs out of that total that are not singles. Harmer waits for DeLunger. Oh, he tries to pull it towards that short leg side boundary, and that was a premeditated swat which he didn't get.
Yeah, maybe Palmer's going in earlier than what I said. That hasn't missed leg stump by much either. Much to Marchand's Shana, as they call him, Shana's chagrin.
Palmer has 2. And tries to again steer that down towards where quite a wide third man is, to be fair. He's got a faint touch on that. It would have been difficult to cut off from Matt Taylor. But this has been a decent performance in terms of out cricket from Gloucestershire, and DeLunger. Well, again, there's that a difficult caught and bowled.
You've got to love Marchand DeLunger. He plays cricket with a smile on his face, even though he's dropped one there.
Ball, yeah. He's following through, stretching out. There have been 3 instances where caught and bowls might have been taken, but they've all been really difficult.
Yeah, they have.
Critchley goes on the aerial route. He's got that safe. I think again it's going to drop into no man's land. The field is all out on the leg side. Again, he'll get one from miscue.
Yeah, but Gloucestershire will take singles this stage of the game, especially with the 2 dot balls earlier in the over.
This is DeLunger's last over. So Payne's got 1 left. And Palmer again goes to swish that on the leg side and doesn't get a touch. So DeLunger's come back well. 1 over cost 21. And in the end, he's taken 1 for 36. He's taken 1 for 15 from the other 3, which is, frankly, is absolutely fine.
Yeah, but to go for, in the 17th over there, in the 18th over, to go for 3 with 3 dot balls is absolute, it's quality stuff, Ian. Quality stuff.
Interestingly, so Matt Taylor, if he's going to bowl this over, that will leave him potentially with Payne to bowl out.
Here he comes. He's coming around the wicket to Critchley, who plays that, and that's not a corn bowl that's dropped. Matt Taylor clings on there, and Critchley goes for 16. And crucially, at this stage of the game as well, it's a dot ball. Essex 127 for 7.
It's a very lopsided card, this Essex card. 2 players got into the 40s, and the highest score apart from that is Critchley's 16. You've now got 2 of the tail enders in. What can they scramble together in the remaining 17 balls?
Luke Benkenstein getting a warm hand here. His father was coach up until last year. He's made some decent performances in the Circle 11. Born in Durban, educated at Seaford College in Sussex. Just 19 years old, but went out to Pakistan, played in a junior tournament and was in the team of the tournament. So he's a decent player. Here's Matt Taylor to him. And that's gone up in the air. Where's that gone? He's got away with that. No, it hasn't. Ollie Price takes the catch, and Benkenstein falls first ball. And Matt Taylor now is on a hat-trick. Essex are falling apart. They want 145 minimum. We said 145. Gloucestershire would take that. It might be even less than that.
Well, there's a possibility they could get bowled out before the 20 overs here.
Yeah, there is. There is.
Distinct possibility.
That wasn't a particularly great shot there. First ball, just work it for 1. Get off strike. I know Harmer's the experienced guy. Let him bunt the ball around. So here's Ben Allison. His brother Charlie was left out of the 15 that Essex used. He's been on loan at Gloucestershire here previously, wasn't he, Ben?
Yeah, he was on loan,
yeah.
Yeah. He's the older of the 2.
Yeah. Colchester lad, so Essex have played at Castle Park up there in Colchester with lovely ground up there. Beautiful ground. So he'll know that well. But he made his T20 debut back in 2019 against Hampshire at Chelsea. He's been around a while, this guy. Here's Matt Taylor on a hat-trick. Crowd behind him. As Allison just works that one out into the onside.
Well, I think Essex will have to bowl well to win this from this situation. Not that they can't win it, but they would need to bowl. If you'd offered Gloucestershire this, or a chase of, say, you said 145.
Yeah, here's Taylor in. That's gone up in the air. That's straight down Jack Taylor's throat. Called Jack Taylor, bowled Matt Taylor. Harmer goes for 3.
And Matt Taylor's figures are going to look pretty good at the end of this as well, with 2 wickets in this over. He and Payne, the 2 left armers, have done a great job.
Yeah,
4 wickets for each of them.
Should Gloucestershire win this game, I don't know who your WOB competition man of the match would be, Ian. But let's wait till they win the game first. Well, if they do, because Essex haven't been runners-up in this competition last year for nothing. They'll come out fighting. And Anthony McGrath, their coach, is a hard Yorkshireman. He's a character. And he won't be impressed with his batting performance, I don't think. Aaron Beard is the last batter to the crease.
Only one sizable stand, 64 between Cox and Walter. In fact, that's half the total. Half the total for 1 wicket, the rest.
Here's Matt Taylor. As that's just off the thigh pad there of the left-handed Beard.
And that's extraordinary, isn't it? 64 for 1 wicket and 64 between the other 9. the other 8.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
it were.
Goes to show. I mean, Jordan Cox is. Walter used his experience, didn't he? But Jordan Cox was the only one who really looked fluent out there.
Taylor's in his last over. He has 4 for 20 at the moment, as you can see. 2 balls to go of his spell.
Here he comes. Around the wicket to Allison Shaw. That's gone up in the air. Where's that gone? It's gone safely, actually.
David Payne out there.
Yeah, Payne can't quite get around to it. And that completes Matt Taylor's spell. 4 for 21.
4 overs, 4 wickets for 22 runs.
4 for 22 in a T20. That's superb. The 2 left armers at Gloucestershire taking 8 wickets between them so far. Really, I mean, that's what Mark Lane would have looked for out of his opening attack, wouldn't he?
Final over coming up to be bowled from the Ashley Down Road end by number 14, David Hay.
So, 130 for 9 at the end of the 19th.
You'd say that was short, wouldn't you? It feels you said 180. I mean, anyway, here's Payne to bowl the last over, and it's steered out into the offside by Allison, and he will get a single. Aaron Beard on to strike.
I still think 180 is probably par though, you know, with the short boundaries. I mean, it's short down here towards the pavilion, it's very short towards the Ashley Down Road end of the ground, and towards us here in the commentary position over on the Kennington Avenue side of the ground, it's not a big hit.
Payne to Beard, and he's just worked that around the corner. They'll take 1. They probably they won't take 2. They can gamble it on Matt Taylor's throw from that deep boundary, but under 140 feels very light from Essex.
That was a clever shot there by Beard. Good weight of shot. Allowed him to get 2, and good placement as well, right in between those 2 fielders.
Payne in, short. Beard plays the same shot, but Webster should get behind this and does. They only take 1. But it is worth bearing in mind the balance of the Gloucestershire attack is quite different to the balance of the Essex attack. The Essex attack has far more spin.
It does.
So the question is, have they got their selection wrong, or will it just prove to be a pitch where it's not coming off the pitch that quickly, therefore it's still awkward to play because of the pace of it. It's short from Payne and goes past Ben Allison and through to keeper James Bracey.
And not just any old spinner either. One of the best, probably the best spinner in the country.
Yeah.
You know, I think if Gloucestershire would probably be best off being quite circumspect with Simon Harmer,
You bat around Harmer,
yeah.
Almost. Payne to Ben Allison. Oh, that was a slower ball again. It's gone through to Bracey. He's going to try and throw the stumps down. Is there a run out there? No, says the umpire.
Ooh.
That was tight, but not given.
It's the 3rd extra of the innings. A bye.
James Bracey won't be happy about that.
Oh, it was tight. It was tight, but I think he's got home. I think that's a good decision, actually.
We're in the last over. Gloucestershire winning the toss, and Essex have 1 ball, unless Payne bowls a no ball or a white to scramble whatever they can. Payne to bowl to Beard, who's clubbed it up in the air. In fact, that's gone well placed, and that's gone for 6 off the last ball. He's hit that away through wide long on, and Aaron Beard has got Essex at least to 140 by clearing the rope off the last delivery. It was a pace-off ball from Payne, and Beard read it, and Essex have finished on 141 for 9. I'll read you the full card. I'm sure James will put it up on your screens in a moment. But there are the bowling figures. Payne 4 for 24, Matt Taylor 4 for 22. The run rate required 7.1. Here is the Essex card then. Elgar caught Van Buren bowled Payne 0, Rossington caught Bracey bowled Payne 6, Pepper bowled Payne naught. They were 11 for 3 at that stage. Then the stand between Cox and Walter, which put on 64 before Cox was caught by Charlesworth off the Langer for 43. Walter went on to get for 48 rather. Walter went on to get 43 before he was caught behind off Matt Taylor. Critchley then was caught and bowled by Matt Taylor for 16. Jack Taylor got a couple of catches towards the end, one to dismiss Sams off Payne for 9, one to get Harmer off his brother Matt for 3. Benkenstein was caught by Ollie Price off Matt Taylor first ball for 0, and Allison not out 3, Beard not out 10. Only 3 extras in that total of 141 for 9. You briefly saw the grid of the bowling figures. Payne 4 overs 4 for 24, Matt Taylor 4 overs 4 for 22, Webster 4 overs for 30, De Lange 4 overs 1 for 38, and the 2 spinners only bowled 4 overs between them. Van Beeren 3 overs for 18, Ollie Price 1 over for 7. Essex's attack is a very different balance. It has Critchley, it has Harmer, it has Benkenstein, 2 leg spinners in there, and then apart from that, probably the main threat in terms of the seam bowlers comes from Allison and Sam. So Paul Walter is not a bad backup.
Yeah, I think Essex will come out fighting as well. I think they'll be disappointed in that below par total, but you never know until both sides are batted. Join us in 5 minutes and we'll find out how Gloucestershire get on in their reply.
So far tonight here at the Unique Stadium, with Gloucestershire making some serious inroads on the Essex team there. He had a hat-trick ball twice, career best figures in T20 cricket from Matt Taylor, and sparkling bowling from David Payne. What a fantastic all-round effort. Gloucestershire require 142 runs to beat Essex from their 20 overs, which get underway fairly soon, but we've got some interval entertainment, of course we have. Go see our sponsors, Thatchers. We've got the Golden Seat competition coming up shortly, but first is the apple roll. I'd say conditions are a little bit windy, definitely chilly, someone told me it's summer, but we've got our contestants and we're ready. On the near side, so the inner lane if you like, it's Zach and Tom from Bristol. They're representing Saints Hole Boys. There we go, we've got some supporters in, I heard that, that's good to hear. Let's see if the Mazarians are as popular. These are on the outer lane, showing the guns there. T-shirt riding up a little bit too high for my liking. That's Will and Holly, who's currently completely obscured by the giant inflatable apple. But she is there. So Holly, I think, is taking over the first leg. And it looks like Zach's preparing to kick us off on the inner lane. Good stuff. So they have to roll the inflatable apples over to the far side where the cones and our cricketers are waiting. They then, the turn is really key, guys. So then you turn quickly, no interfering with the other team, back to your teammate. They take over the second leg and it's first past the post. Don't get pipped at the post. Another apple comfy there. I'm signposting these. Right, so are you ready? Cricketers are ready. Alfred the Gorilla's ready. Good luck to win a case of Thatcher's Gold. It's the first apple race of the summer. In 3, 2, 1, go! Very strong start from Zach. Holly's in a bit of bother. Go on, Holly, that's good momentum. Good turn though from Zach. Zach and Tom. Saints Hole Boys in the lead. Holly's got some ground to make up. Zach with the changeover. Is it going to be smooth? Tom, oh nice, very slick. Holly's gained some momentum though. Come on, Will. There he goes, Will. There's that win I warned you about. Get back on track, Will. It's a bit zigzagging. Whoa! Skullduggery there. Well, we don't like to see that, but Tom, he's recovered well. A minor concussion, but he's doing all right. And yes, I think justified victory there for Zach and Tom. Outrageous behaviour from Will. We don't like to see that on a cricket pitch. Let's get Zach and Tom in. Many congratulations. Are you all right there, Tom? My bum. My bum. There we go. That's a good quote for the summer. Zach, you can barely talk. How proud are you of that effort there? Because I mean, well, I'm sure we'll see it on the third umpire's camera, but it looked like some interference.
Yeah, it's just a privilege to be on such high ground and put in such performance. We've been training for this all season, so we're glad to come back. Thanks for the privilege. You know, it's a tough race today. We do want to get a bit of VAR on that, but we'll leave that to you.
Good stuff. And Saints all boys, you say Kings of the West Country, is that right? Sounds like you got a few supporters in.
They are the Kings of the West Country treble winners, Saints All Boys.
Many congratulations, Zach and Tom. Saints All Boys, well done. You've won a case of Thatcher's Gold. Well done for playing. Thanks ever so much. Right, a few minutes away. We've got the Thatcher's Golden Seat. Are you in a lucky seat? Will you win a case of Thatcher's Gold just by turning up and being here tonight? We'll find out in a few moments' time. Well, the man celebrating on your big screen will be celebrating even more in a second. Let's open the case. Are you ready for the Thatcher's Golden Seats competition in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, on your big screen, coming now. Any second, it was you. We sort of killed the suspense by showing the shot just before the video there. But never mind, many congratulations, you are our Thatcher's Golden Seat winner. A case of Thatcher's Gold heading your way. Thank you very much. Gloucestershire require 142 to get the Vitality Blast campaign off to a winning start. Let's welcome back our on-field umpires, Paul Baldwin and Jack Chantry.
Welcome back to the Seat Unique Stadium, where Gloucestershire have got to attack 142 as their victory target here against Essex, opening night of the T20. Just to remind you, of course, that the next two home games are against Sussex and also Hampshire. Hampshire on Friday the 7th, Sussex on Sunday the 9th. And remember, there are only 4 games in Bristol, and the Somerset game is, as of tonight, sold out. So
yeah, if you want a ticket, I was just about to put Ian's jacket on there.
there are two identical jackets. Actually, I think Dan's might be a bit bigger than mine. But anyway, if you want to get a ticket for the T20 in Bristol, then next weekend is your chance. Friday night or Sunday afternoon. But bear in mind, Sunday also has the Western Storm game, and you get 2 games for the price of your ticket. So 10:30 for the Western Storm against the Southern Vipers in the T20 in the Charlotte Edwards Cup, and also then Gloucestershire against Sussex in the afternoon. Here they've got to chase it just over 7 and over, and Bancroft and Hammond will open, and Essex are going to have to bowl well done, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're capable of it as well. You know, they're fighters, Essex, and they are capable of it. And Daniel Sams is going to take us away from the pavilion end to Miles Hammond. Hammond is unorthodox in T20 cricket. I mean, the batting, we saw him reverse sweep Delray Rawlins for 6 the other year, and took 4 sixes off the bowling of Josh Davey against Somerset in that curtailed game where Roloff van der Merwe won the game with an innings that still probably gives Gloucestershire fans nightmares.
Yeah, at least Miles has got that monkey of waiting so long for a first class 100 off his back this season.
Yeah, here's Sams bowling to Hammond. Over the wicket, Hammond gets up on his toes, defends, having a little look first. No need to do anything silly first ball.
Do you think... so there was a very interesting definition of bowlers, and you have medium fast, fast medium, and fast. Do you think Sams is quick enough to be in the fast category?
No.
Not quite.
No, I mean,
Harris Ralph probably is.
Yeah, Harris Ralph, Gus Atkinson.
He's quite brisk though, Sams.
Sams over. Oh, that's flashed outside the off stump and thumps into the gloves of Adam Rossington. So Essex with 1 slip. They've got the short third. They've got a conventional third man who's like a deep backward point. They've got a cover point, an extra cover, a mid-off, fine leg, deep square leg, and they've got Aaron Beard just in front of us here at mid-on. Sams has got a lovely approach into the crease. Hammond defends, just having a look. Sams bowling in good areas here. Bancroft will know all about Sams.
Yeah, I wonder if Bancroft is going to play or be asked through this tournament to effectively play the anchor role most of the time.
Possibly.
You know,
possibly, but I think
through.
Yeah, but I think Sams comes in. Hammond tucks that one into the onside. They're going to get 2 here. Both are quite quick between the wickets. As
Michael Pepper.
Pepper does the fielding out at deep mid wicket. Yeah, I think the Gloucestershire batters can all bat in both fashions. I mean, you know, I think they can play defensively and they can nerdle the ball around, but they can also play shots. Well, Ollie Price can, Miles Hammond can, Bancroft can. That's a lovely shot there through extra cover mid-off. It's going to go. Oh, that's a brilliant piece of work out there. Jordan Cox. We said he was a good fielder at the start of the game. The crowd are getting on his case there, but I thought that was good. No problem at all. Let's have a look at it on the replay. Ooh, probably third umpire might be having a look at that, but you've got to take the fielder's word for it, haven't you? I mean, it wasn't on the par with Liam Dawson's up here in 2022 when he was about 6 yards over the rope. But no, I thought that was all right. I thought that was fine. Often you don't even know yourself as a fielder. Here's Sams into Hammond. Oh, what a catch! What a catch there! Simon Harmer stuck out one left paw and the ball goes right into it. That is a worldie.
That is a truly brilliant slip catch.
Oh my word, I'm lost for words. I am lost for words. That is genius.
Hands like buckets, Simon Harmer.
That is an absolutely brilliant catch there.
He's got. Hammond's got every reason to look around and think, well, if he's caught that, there's not much more I can do.
No. And Gloucestershire's first wicket falls with 4 on the board. James Bracey in at number 3. Thought we might see Ollie Price in at 3, but I mean, I think Gloucestershire's top order is interchangeable, isn't it?
Yeah, and they've split the left-handers up as well by putting Charlesworth at 6. So anyway, 4 for 1 after the first over, and Sam's making an initial breakthrough. Aaron Beard to bowl from the Ashley Down Road end. That's chopped away by Bancroft. Well placed. That will race away for 4 to point in front of the mound stand, and the Aussie is on his way.
He's been a wonderful signing, hasn't he? Great bit of recruitment, and I'm not just saying that because Gloucestershire's CEO Will Brown has walked into the room. He's been a cracking signing.
Plays all formats, of course, that's the important thing. Beard in, same shot from Bancroft, but there's a man now out there now at deep point. I'll just pick up one.
Walter,
I think, out there.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not. That's Allison out there. Walter is in at. Oh, he'll be at short cover in a moment when Bracey gets into position.
He's fairly distinctive, but Allison's tall man as well, isn't he?
So Bracey, a couple of hundreds in the championship already. Now waits for Aaron Beard from the Ashley Down Road and chops it into his pad. That
just hurried Bracey up a little there.
if you're just getting a little bit of fragmentation on your picture, we do apologise for that. 142, remember, is the target, as you can see at the bottom of your screen.
Umpire Jack Shantry at that end. Father played here at Gloucestershire, Brian.
Beard right arm over the wicket. To bowls Bracey, that's gone aerial. There's only one man out, of course. It's a very safe shot, and the cheer is because has it gone for 6? They're asking the fielder.
They think it is in the Ashley Down Road end of the ground. The crowd say 6.
Yeah, and up goes Jack Shantry's arms to indicate it was a 6. Let's just see if our roving camera can show where that's actually gone. I
think it's hit the rope. Really
middled that, Bracey. You can see the lovely blue sky here at Bristol tonight. And as it drops, may have literally just clipped the back of the rope. That's over the man at mid-on. That's going to go all the way up towards the Ashley Down Road for 4 more.
Yeah, Bracey means business here.
Beats Pepper on the chase. bear in mind, in that Essex score, there was an over that cost 21. So Gloucestershire know if they can get a big over early on and they know what they're chasing
and get ahead of the game, then they can just nudge and nurdle it about, can't they? Take low risk cricket.
You kind of release the pressure valve early if you can do that. Be it again to Bracey.
Wide.
It's given us a wide by Jack Chantry. It's got to steer that down towards third man, but Gloucestershire only bowled one. Remember, in their innings, only 3 extras in that Essex total. That's
wonderful discipline. As I said earlier, Mark Lane, you know, he knows white ball cricket inside out, and you can see that's a stamp of a Mark Lane side there.
Bracey into double figures already. And they get an extra, certainly 1 here. They might want 2. Will Bancroft gamble on the second? No, he won't. And the returns into Adam Rossington. So Beard's first over costs 17. And
I'm still flabbergasted about that Simon Harmer cat. I mean, I thought I'd put that in the top 10 that I've ever seen.
It was a very...
I mean, it actually flew off the bat. And it was low, and he's just stuck out a left mitt. And I've run out of superlatives here.
It actually made it look quite easy, which is... And it's that thing about sport in general. People who have time are generally classy players, and he is a classy player.
Yeah, Sam's in. Bracey defends. Sam's bowls that nagging line and length, doesn't he? Doesn't bowl give you many freebies.
The debate for Essex is how and where they use their spinners, because beyond these 2, they've got Walter and they've got Ben Allison.
Yeah, I think Gloucestershire here might just try and Sam's comes in. Oh, that's nearly bowled Bracey. That's gone backwards of the stumps there. I don't know how far away that was. I don't know if we can see a replay of this. Oh, not miles away.
Inside edge.
Thick inside edge onto the pad.
He got bowled in the championship match against Derbyshire with a ball that went off the bottom edge into his feet and then into the stumps.
But he's been in wonderful form, and Graham Van Buren's been in wonderful form. Sam's approaching the wicket. Oh, Bracey, innovation! Ho! 6 runs over the slips. Reverse ramp. What a shot this is.
He's gone very early with that.
Yeah, he has.
And that's something we didn't see at all from Essex in their innings. It was very orthodox in that way.
Decent catch by the man there in the... it's the Jack Russell stand down there, isn't it? Who's at the Mark Lane stand? I think it's the Jack Russell stand. Bracey's pull that one. That's going to go 1 bounce for 4. Backward a square on the leg side.
With the field up, Bracey's trying to really take advantage of the power play. After the end of the power play, Essex were 49 for 3.
Yeah.
And we're only in the 3rd over, and Gloucestershire are 31 for 1.
Yeah. Bracey knows this ground though. He knows the geometry, doesn't he? He knows the angles. And that wasn't quite into Klinger corner, but we're a million miles away. And we know that the ball down there goes away quickly, and it's not that big a hit. Sam's to Bracey, full toss, and Bracey can only just prod that out to mid-wicket.
Attempted slow ball, I think, from Sam's.
Yeah. Not cricket at its finest there. Slow full toss, which Bracey doesn't pick and just sort of dribbles out to mid-wicket, but you know, I think we'll forgive the Winterbourne lad after that shot 2 balls ago, where she reverse ramped for 6 into the Ashley Down Road end.
Harmer's come out of the slips to mid-wicket. They've got a short third man, quite fine.
Sam's Bracey pulls, doesn't really get hold of it though, and just dribbles out to Michael Pepper out at deep square, who throws the ball into Rossington. And after 3 overs, it's 32 for 1, 11 off that over. So Sam's first over went for 4, second one for 11, but Aaron Beard's first over's gone for 17. And will we see him?
Yeah, we won't see him again for a while, because we're going to see Ben Allison at the Ashley Down Road end. 141 for 9 Essex made, 48 from Jordan Cox and 43 from Paul Walter. Not much else from the rest, truthfully. 4 wickets for David Payne, 4 from Matt Taylor. Essex were 11 for 3 at one stage, and really a side of one good stand between those two, Walter and Cox. Their batting was very brittle. So here is Allison to bowl to Bracey round the wicket, and Bracey works that into the leg, so there's a big gap at deep square. They'll take one, but they won't risk a second. Arrow like throw.
That's an arm.
That's Daniel. That is Daniel Sams out there.
That is an arm and a half there.
Low and flat.
That hasn't gone more than 6 feet in the air, and he's thrown it in from the longest boundary on the ground, straight into the gloves of Rossington.
Bancroft's only faced 2 balls. Bracey's had all the strikes since Hammond was out. Allison over the wicket to the right-hander, and Bancroft goes for the scoop and gets that wrong, because the ball didn't get up at all.
Is that him in the head?
No,
in the chest.
He's got a chest guard on.
Oh, there we are. There we are. The dynamic duo. Randall and Hopkirk deceased.
I thought that was Payne and Taylor. It was tonight.
Certainly was. Certainly was.
Bracey 23 at the non-strikers end. Bancroft on 5, and he'll get 4 more for that, because that's forced away. Again, backward point. It's a really good area for him. Enough room made by Bancroft. Force it square of the wicket.
He likes that area, doesn't he?
And even on the bigger boundary, that's still raced away.
Yeah, he likes that part of the ground.
Essex haven't strengthened that area yet. They still haven't got really the option to do that in the power play. Bancroft goes fine this time, there'll be 4 more. Down towards the boundary at third man, there's no cover there.
I think he's deliberately played that as well. I think that's a very good shot. I don't think that's an edge anyway, because it's soft hands.
See, Rossington tried to play that earlier.
Yeah, he's just opened the face.
And got it wrong, whereas Bancroft has just got enough on that.
But with softer hands, so the ball's gone downwards as well. Lovely shot.
It's not bad for him himself. Cameron Bancroft in the championship.
Yeah, he's been a really good signing. Second spell at the club.
He's got 500 runs already. Allison to bowl to him. And he'll nick a single there. Sharp work from Bracey, answered the call.
The key for me here is when Simon Harmer comes into the attack. How do Gloucestershire play him? Do they just look to see off his 4 overs? Maybe, you know, if they can sort of work it around for 10, 15, 20 perhaps? Or do they go after him as well if they've got the wickets in hand?
I think you'd be tempted to be cautious with him, especially if you've got a good start.
Yeah, I agree.
This is the 4th over only. Bracey waits for Allison and chops it down to third man, where Michael Pepper will do the fielding. There is a cover there for the left-hander to the shorter boundary, but again there's 11 off that over from Ben Allison, and Gloucestershire are at least an over ahead, I think, of where they would think they ought to be at this point. 43 for 1 off 4. Essex were 49 for 3 off 6 at the end of the power play.
Yeah, I think it's too early in the competition to start thinking about net run rates as well. So 43 off 1. 43 for 1 off 4.
And here is Harmer in the power play, which shows Gloucestershire are asking the questions of Essex, and they've got to come up with something, and the skipper said, right, I need to have a hand in this.
Yeah, Essex were 19 for 3 at this stage. You know, so Gloucestershire already over double the visitors' score. Simon Harmer here, one of the best bowlers in the country, and that's drilled through mid-wicket. That's going to run away. Is it going to go for 4? No, Jordan Cox is after it. He's quick. He's in that region, but 2 more to James Bracey. He's already on 26 of just 13 balls, striking at 200 here. Harmer to him. Bracey goes for a big swing, and that gets nothing on it, and it just dribbles out into the onside. I wonder if Bracey, there's no one patrolling the cover boundary, so Harmer's spearing this into Bracey's legs. There, it's in the air. Oh, it's not that far short there of Allison. But Bracey's looking for that empty cover region. Wonder if he's going to go inside out and play Harmer through the covers. There, that's just a little tickle. Reverse sweep round the corner. As ball finds short third, where I think that's Pepper down there, isn't it? That's short third. Throws it in and demolishes the stumps. Almost decapitates Adam Rossington keeping there.
But Harmer, by and large, accuracy is his thing, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's he strangles victims, doesn't he? He makes them making mistakes through pressure, through scoreboard pressure. That's drilled out to Jordan Cox, no run, who hurls it in to Harmer. Just 2 off the overs so far, but from Gloucestershire's point of view, it's 1 Simon Harmer over down. There, that's played out to long off there. Full toss from Bracey. Goes out to Paul Walter doing the fielding out there, and 2 more. So 4 off the over. 47 for 1 with just 1 over left in the Cedar Care Homes power play.
If they could work Harmer for even for 4 and over through his spell, 4 or maybe 5, there was maybe just 1 boundary in there somewhere, but he didn't take a wicket, then
they'd be happy with that. They'd be happy.
I think they'd be relatively content with that. There is a pie chart of Bracey's 28 runs so far.
There's piano music going on here. I've never heard this music. Have you chosen the playlist tonight, Ian?
A bit more lively if I was choosing it. Here's Sam's coming back, so Harmer's he's front loading here to try and get a breakthrough.
Yeah, he is. Luke Benkenstein's whirring his arms as well, as if he might get a little. If they're going to use him, he's got to be bowled outside of the power play.
This is the last over of the power play. Sam's around the wicket. Bancroft's clubbed that away through extra cover for 4.
That brings up the 50. That's a lovely shot.
Really nice shot.
In fact, all of Bancroft's shots have been proper cricket shots, haven't they? That's a cover drive there of the highest quality.
Really picked the gap. There was a point during the championship game where it felt like Matthew Lamb with Derbyshire was picking every gap available. And Gloucestershire can try and do that here if they can. Sam's to Bancroft, very fine, but there is cover with young Benkenstein on the rope at long legs, so they'll only get 1. Yes, I mean, you'll have seen enough T20 games, Dan, where sometimes a batsman just keeps hitting the field all the time.
Yeah.
And on other days, everything was going in the gap, and that's how it was with Matthew Lamb in the championship round that was obviously finished last Monday. And Bancroft,
with his 200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bancroft here has picked some gaps nicely. That's what he's got to continue to do. Miles Hammond, the only man out, to a brilliant catch from Harmer. off Sam. Slower ball from Sam's this time. Clipped away by Brace's deep mid wicket. They'll only take one. And the fielder out there, I think, is the aforementioned Aaron Beard.
These two are quite quick between the wickets. We know Bracey's quick, but Bancroft looks equally as sharp as well.
That 141 for Essex feels light. It felt light as it was unravelling for them. And as a result, you go hunting wickets, don't you?
Yeah, but you know, T20 cricket can just turn like that. Essex aren't out of this yet.
Sam's to Bancroft. Slower ball again, and again he's hit over the infield past Paul Walter, and that will race away for 4 more. Sam's looks a bit rueful, but that's a 50 partnership between these two. That's a good effort, having lost Hammond early on. Brilliant catch though it was, and you know, with the field up, that's if you make good contact, it's relatively risk-free.
Yeah, it certainly is, and there's a big gap out there. In fact, they're just moving Walter more out to extra cover, but it doesn't surprise me. Bancroft's been very strong back with a point as well.
2 balls left in the power play. Sam's again to Bancroft. Slower ball. There's the cover now. Same shot, but you've got Ben Allison out on the rope, so they don't usually get them 1 run. This Bancroft's had a bit more of the strike in the last couple of overs. It almost felt as if Bracey was dominating matters, but if they both have a share in this partnership, they need to balance the strike up a little bit more.
There's the ground looking north up to North Bristol, Filton and Horfield, that area, towards Bristol Rovers.
Sam's to complete the power play. Bracey pulls that, and they've moved the fielder for Bracey, and he's literally pulled it right over the rope at deep square for 6. It's a great way to finish the power play for Gloucestershire, and they're almost halfway to the target after only 6 overs. 64 for 1. At this stage, Essex were 49 for 3.
James Bracey looks like a man with a new lease of life. You know, you wonder how much of an influence Mark Alain's had to do with that coming in. There was a really interesting interview Bracey did where he said, having played for England, he had 2 caps for England, and how it affected him and how it sort of affected his mood. Cricket affected his mood, and it's a really interesting interview. It's well worth the read, because it talks about the sort of pressures, and you know, he's sort of been to see psychologists, etc. And I think he looks a different man. He looks like the shackles have been lifted. Here's Bancroft about to face Simon Harmer from the pavilion end. Reverse sweep, and he gets that one away. That's going to go down to Klinger corner. And oh, that's a great bit of work down there on the fence. He's going to get 3.
It's Michael Pepper.
It's Pepper. He saved a single. Essex are fighting hard here. And I tell you what, it only takes 1 wicket just to open the door, and then you never know what's going to happen.
Well, this is the stand that is the equivalent of the Cox-Walter stand for Essex.
Yeah, it certainly is. That one put on 64. This one so far put on 63. Harmer to Bracey. Just played off Bracey's pad there, I think. We do apologise if there's a little bit of interference there on your picture. Hope it's not ruining things too much for you. Bracey gets on the back foot and carves that square through point, giving himself room to play the cut shot. Moving on to 36 now. The Winterbourne man, Bancroft on 26. Harmer going around the wicket still to the right-handed. Bancroft goes past his outside edge into the gloves of Adam Rossington. Harmer whirring away. That's a full toss. Bancroft has missed out there. He's hit it straight on one bounce down to deep backward square.
But
and
look at what the start has done to the run rate.
Yeah,
The run rate required down below a runner ball.
yeah, which is exactly where you want it. Harmer staying around the wicket to the left-handed Bracey, who almost yorks himself there. I've seen Bracey out like that in the past, actually, where he's gone down the wicket and yorked himself. That's Simon Harmer's second over gone out of the equation now. He's none for 9. And Gloucestershire will just be one eye on how many overs Harmer's got left up his sleeve.
Could be spin from both ends. I think that's Matt Critchley. It is. Just pacing out his run. So at the moment, Paul Walter is an option being held back, but they're going to try and go with the 2 spinners.
Yeah. Bowling to a short leg side boundary, but turning the ball away from the right-handed Cameron Bancroft.
Here is Critchley in, chopped away by Bancroft through a very narrow gap between 2 fielders. Sort of backward point and a wide gully. There really wasn't much room there, but again, he really picked the gap well.
Yeah, bisected those 2 fielders.
There's probably only 5 yards between those 2 fielders.
He threads it through the eye of a needle, doesn't he, Bancroft?
It's probably a bit more than 5 now, but it certainly isn't more than 10. And as a result of Critchley going straighter, Bancroft can work his way across his stumps and pick up a single into the leg side.
Now
runs required now now fewer than the runs on the board.
Yeah,
only 68 needed.
Will Bracey go down the ground and target that short boundary at the Ashley Down Road end?
He's got a long on and a long off back, so you've got to be wary of that. Critchley in, and he's cut him instead down towards the boundary at 3rd man for 4.
Yeah, he's got away with that one. That's a thick outside edge, but sometimes in cricket you make your own luck, don't you? And Gloucestershire have hit the bowling around so much there's no slip in place.
At the moment, this is a charge towards the total. Bracey waits for Critchley again. He does go aerial. That's very high. Is it long enough? It is. It'll go for 6. I don't know whether the gentleman in the stand caught that.
No.
I don't think he did.
No. Needs to go to catching practice as well with a young lad from the first innings. Get down your local cricket club, mate. Catch some skiers.
84 for 1. Bracey sweeps. He'll only get 1. Out to deep backward square. Bracey to 47. And this off the back of a big 100 in the championship against Derbyshire. Gloucestershire racing towards their target at the moment. Only 57 more needed. Critchley's over was expensive, 16 off it, and Essex can't afford a big over like that.
No, he just fizzed that one through a little bit quicker, and I wonder if you need to do this due to the sluggish nature of this wicket. But Essex, I tell you what, at Chelmsford, they will win more games than they lose. It's a very hard place to go. Well, it can be a quite an intimidating atmosphere down there on a Friday night.
Well, here's young Luke Benkenstein. I've mentioned this quietly, but I think it's worth mentioning at this point. Gloucestershire haven't beaten Essex since 2016 when they did the double over them. Now, not a lot of those games since have been either had no play or weather affected, but it's a long time since they've beaten them.
Yeah. Benkenstein. Leg spinner. That's stroked pleasantly by Bracey, but can't get it past Harmer. Extra cover.
This is his T20 debut.
Yeah, certainly is.
He'd like a few more runs to bowl that, I would think.
Yeah. Short, cut away. Only for 1.
Well, even a runner ball from here would get Gloucestershire home with 2 overs to spare.
Yeah.
And you suspect they want to try and really... I mean, they've taken the pressure right off it anyway.
Oh, that's well bowled from Benkenstein. Goes past the outside edge of Cameron Bancroft's bat. I think there's a googly. It's the other one. It's gone past the inside edge. Short. That's down the leg side. Is that stumping there? Rossington's asked a question. It's going to be a wide. It's a tidy bit of work there by Rossington. There was bats flying around his head the lot. And he's been very sharp with the gloves. Benkenstein. Oh, he's bowled him. Benkenstein gets on the board, and that's a great debut wicket there. Cameron Bancroft is out for 32, and Benkenstein strikes. Has this opened the door for Essex Eagles?
Got it for bottom edge, actually. You'd be irritated by that.
83 that partnership.
But still, he's had a really big say in this chase.
Yeah. Bo Webster's coming in at 4.
Incoming batter for Gloucestershire, number 30, Bo Webster.
So
they've pushed him up 1 because Ollie Price was down to come in at 4.
but you know what? I think this is a really strong Gloucestershire lineup. You know, if you look at Hammond, Bancroft, Bracey, Webster, Price, Van Buren, runs could come from any of that top 6 and quickly. Charlesworth 7, that top 7.
Jack Taylor
8. Ian, who else are you going to throw into the mix?
Marshall DeLonga.
Yes, all right. David Payne, Matt Taylor. They can whack it.
Well, Webster definitely can.
Benkenstein to Webster, who drills that one down the ground. It's just going to be 1. Jordan Cox isn't a man to be messed with down there on the boundary. Webster's off the mark, first ball. Benkenstein to Bracey, who plays that one pleasantly down to Paul Walter at long off.
What Gloucestershire wouldn't want now, if Bracey was to get out in the next over or so, the impetus might be lost a bit from that partnership. Just he and Webster just want to play sensibly so that Webster can get settled, and then they should be able to, you know, push on towards the target, you would hope.
At this stage, Essex were only 75 for 3, Gloucestershire 89 for 2, but it's in this over that they lost Jordan Cox, and then after that they lost Jordan Cox with a score on 75, and then they were 128 all out. You know, the rest folded really pretty quickly.
Aaron Beard coming back for a second over. First one cost 17. Bracey facing. He's pulled that into the leg side and it's caught. A good catch on the run. Allison with it. And there is the second wicket with, again, as it was in the first innings, the 2 batters who were set, both getting out relatively quickly, one after the other. Bracey goes frustratingly for 49, and it's 89 for 3, and that just might give Essex just a chink of a break in BRAKE, by the way, not BREK, but it could be both on the Gloucestershire scoring.
Is the door slightly ajar as the skipper comes to the wicket? Jack Taylor. Yeah.
They're trying to force this, aren't they?
Well,
looks to me as if they're putting the attacking batters in to try and force the issue, knowing that the more orthodox people like Ollie Price and Ben Charlesworth are the insurance policy if it doesn't work.
Thing is, 25 quick runs, you know, you're at 115 then, you're almost home, aren't you? You're almost home then. And all it needs is a couple of sort of 3 overs of 8. Jack Taylor's an experienced man as well.
So Taylor in, the 2 right-handers now in the wicket, and he played a little dab down towards third man, and they'll just pick up the single.
So all Gloucestershire need to do is just nurdle the ball around, just work the ones.
I'm not saying Bo Webster needs this, but the skipper out there alongside him, chirping in his ear all the time about what he needs to be doing, is probably no bad thing.
No.
90 for 3. Beard to Webster. He's playing a tip and run at the moment, and
I think he was gone there.
That's a tight one.
I think he was gone. He might have long legs.
Dean Elgar with the throw. How close was this? He's a left-handed thrower, of course. He's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone if he hits.
Yeah. That would have been game on there if Webster had gone.
Jack Taylor waits again, and again he'll work the single, and that's all Gloucestershire need.
That's all they need to do. Nothing silly, just nurdle it about.
The fireworks have happened already.
Yep.
In the context of this game,
You've built the platform, you put the foundations in,
poured the concrete.
you have poured the concrete. In fact, you've laid the first brick.
Yeah. Floodlights shining brightly. Webster this time does steer it towards Elgar, but he's not going to go for a single now. So the impetus of that Bracey Bancroft stand, really important.
Yeah, a few Essex fans down here to our right. Made the long journey up. Fair play to them.
Stand was worth 83. Beard to Webster. Won't get a single there either. That's a much better over from Aaron Beard. Only 7 off it. And Gloucestershire 92 for 3 at half distance. And you can see up by the worm, Gloucestershire comfortably ahead of where Essex were. They've got a 1 wicket extra in hand. And a reminder of the batsman out. Miles Hammond early on to a brilliant catch by Harmer off Daniel Sams for 4. Bancroft bowled by Bankenstein for 32 off a bottom edge. And then Bracey caught by Ben Allison off Beard for 49.
Big shout out to the Healy boys listening down in Yeovil. Never mind Somerset, this is where it's at Bristol. That's a wide there from Benkenstein to kick off the second half of this Gloucestershire innings, if it goes all the way. Benkenstein in, he's got quite a nice approach in. Taylor looking to drive that, just plays it back to the bowler.
He's only 19.
He's got a nice action. Get some revs on it as Taylor again drills that one back to the youngster.
Wouldn't be as tall as Ed Middleton.
No.
Gloucestershire leggy.
No. Middleton's unusually tall for a leggy though, isn't he? Taylor just late cut. Can't get it past short third. Where I think that's Critchley down there, isn't it?
He's only bowled the 1 over so far, Matt Critchley, yes he has.
Short, Taylor pulls that round the corner and down towards the Ashley Down Road end. Bathed in sunshine. That's why it's called the South of France end. I think Andy Brassington, the old Gloucestershire wicket keeper, he christened it the South of France end. And it's stuck, isn't it? It's just known as the South of France.
That was just far enough down the leg side, wasn't it, that Taylor could say, right, that's the ball I've been waiting for.
Yeah. Short, Taylor plays that out to Walter there at long on.
So Critchley has only bowled 1 over, Harmer's bowled 2, so the spinners still might have a role to play here. The more experienced bowlers, you'd feel, for Essex.
Webster drills that one out to Jordan Cox at long off, just for a single. Just 42 runs needed now. That completes the 11th over.
See, 7 off the over, absolutely fine.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want with good percentage cricket. You know, just working the ones around one boundary.
If you're in a chase in a T20, I think if you're getting to your target in the 18th over, that's actually quite a long way in hand.
Yeah. Ian, you're a cultured man. There's this bit of shopping.
Here's Critchley back. With his leg breaks, Webster to bowl to him. Just comes across his stumps, works it into the leg side, out to Pepper. And the 100 is up. 100 up in the 12th. For Essex, it came in the 14th. So, indicates the point that they're probably 2 overs ahead of where they want to be. And the general view of the chasing side is you want to finish it in the 19th to give yourself an over leeway.
Yeah.
And Gloucestershire will be thinking, can we give it earlier than that here? Taylor down the ground. It's caught. It's caught. It's really well caught.
Cox.
Taylor's just checking, and that's Allison again with a really good catch.
It's Cox, isn't it?
Is it Cox?
I think it's Cox. He's hurt his finger.
It's low and flat.
Ooh.
Taylor's looked at that, but I don't know whether that's actually carried.
I'm not sure that's carried either. Let's have a look at this. No, I think he's got his fingers underneath it, actually. It's a good catch. It's a good catch.
Taylor hasn't queried it. He's just looked to check. But that's an important wicket for Essex that just gives them a slither of a hope. It shouldn't change the outcome, but it's 100 for 4. Charlesworth at 6. Ollie Price will be batting at 7. Van Buren at 8. And now the last of the main batters who are left-handed, Ben Charlesworth. Critchley turning the ball into the left-hander, of course. He'll just work that away for a single up to long on.
That's a really good catch there from Jordan Cox. He's, I think he just about got his fingers, and it's just gone into the end of the fingers. When I first saw it, I thought, it's a bump, it's gone into the ground first. But no, he's actually got his fingers underneath it. It's fair play.
Webster. So he made 4. And he'll get a single out to Simon Harmer in the covers.
Remember, Harmer's still got 2 overs up his sleeve. This isn't a done game yet. It's not all over.
160 would have been an interesting chase.
Yeah, it would have been.
Critchley to Charlesworth. Uses his feet, goes down the ground, doesn't really get it off the meat of the bat, more off the toe.
Got his maiden ton this year as well against Leicestershire, didn't he, Ben Charlesworth?
We referenced Miles Hammond's long wait for another 100. For Ben, it was the wait for his first one, and that's now chalked off. Webster gets a very short ball, can't work it away. So 12 overs gone, 103 for 4. At this stage, Essex 89 for 4. So Gloucestershire have a bit of leeway. They've created the gap. They don't want to let it slip through their fingers now.
No, they don't.
Harmer's coming back.
Yeah, this could be, this over could be match defining here, couldn't it? Here we go. Harmer winkles a couple out here. It really is game on. Charlesworth just Uses his bottom hand, nurdles that towards mid-wicket, but for no run. Oh, quick off ball from Harmer. Charlesworth gets a thick inside edge and it dribbles out onto the onside, but they pick up one. Couple of people out there. Ollie Bennett as well from Gloucestershire, enjoying a spot of grub. Food stalls all around the ground. Harmer, short. Webster can't quite get that away. Webster's still only on 5 off 9 balls, but crucially, he's still there, and he needs to be there at the end. That's a full toss, which is played out to Paul Walter at long on. Throws it into Rossington on the bounce.
I think after when Bancroft and Bracey were going well, Gloucestershire fans would have been sitting very comfortably.
Oh, that's in the air, but into the vacant gap. Again to Walter.
Just a little bit of shuffling in the seats at the moment, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, there are. The crowd are quiet as well. They're like just a little bit tense, I feel. Webster smashes that out to Jordan Cox for a single. Yeah, they're a little bit tense. They're not quite sure. They've seen Essex capitulate at this stage of the innings, and they know they've got a world-class bowler in Simon Harmer up their sleeve with his box of tricks. So they're just not quite sure. But give it a few overs and should Gloucestershire start
35 off 7.
Get there. You'll hear them certainly.
There's the comparison run rate. And you can see how Gloucestershire started like a train, got miles ahead of where they ought to be, and Essex have just clawed it back by chipping away at the wickets column. Webster up to long off, the start of another over from Critchley. Harmer's only got 1 left after this. Critchley 1 left after his. They only want 5 and over from here. Aerial from Charlesworth, that's gone long. That's gone into the crowd at the apartments end of the ground, and those who are 2 or 3 floors up are looking down to see which spectator fielded it, because that was a big clean hit from Ben Charlesworth.
That certainly was. I know Steve Lewis from Walkers and Talkers plies his trade from up in those flats. Didn't quite reach him though.
28 needed. Charlesworth goes straight down the ground, but Critchley's made a good partial stop there. They won't risk a single.
But that one warmed the cockles somewhat.
Charlesworth again. Oh, down there. Was that caught and bowled?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
It's been a night for caught and bowls to be put down.
Do you know what I think we're seeing? I think we're seeing a slow wicket, so when you drive it goes aerial, and also this stage of the game I think it gets quite hard to score when the ball gets a little bit softer.
Charlesworth works it into the onside. Diving stop from Harmer, no run. But the 6 in the over's done more than what Gloucestershire need.
Yeah.
That one blow. And Charlesworth will get one more there, will he? Yes, he will. It's forced into the offside off the back foot. Michael Pepper can't stop the single. So 115 for 4, 27 needed. There are still 6 overs to go. So ought to be plenty of time. These two just need to be sensible. Webster's playing a very unusual innings for a man batting up the order at number 4.
Yeah, we're going to see Paul Walter come into the attack. First time we've seen him tonight. He gets bounce out of nowhere. He's a really good death bowler. He's a good man to have at this stage of the game.
Plays for the Manchester Originals in the 100.
Yeah. Yeah, been out in the Big Bash as well, hasn't he?
So, I say, Critchley, 1 over left. Harmer 1 over left. Sams has only got 1 over left. So Essex have been forced to chase wickets here.
There's Walter, tall and rangy left armour. Short and cut away there by Charlesworth. It's the land of the giants here. Walter, Charlesworth 6'4", Webster's about 6'7", isn't he?
Just very quickly, elsewhere tonight, 2 results in the North Group. Durham bowled out for 75 by Lancashire, and Worcestershire bowled out for 101 by Yorkshire. Both those sides obviously have lost.
Walter to Webster, who plays that out to long on. Webster's not found his timing, but he's got that experience where he doesn't panic, does he? He's happy just staying there, working the ones around, and he knows that if he's there, Gloucestershire win this game.
Should also tell you, Western Storm today beaten in the Charlotte Edwards Cup by Southern Vipers by 28 runs. They're at home to the Sunrisers tomorrow, and you can watch that on the stream tomorrow afternoon from 2:30.
Walter short, tennis smashed, 15 love there to Ben Charlesworth, or a single in cricketing parlance, cricketing vernacular.
Yes, I was surprised when Nadal got knocked out very early in the French Open this week.
Yeah.
24 to win.
He's getting on a bit though now, isn't he? He's
been a great player.
I mean, we're not any to talk, Ian, but you know. Walter coming around the wicket to Webster, who drills that one through extra cover. There's a man out on the boundary, but he can't cut that off. It was hit with such power, such venom, such force. That's the boundary that Gloucestershire are looking for off this over. 20 to win now.
Did step away a little bit to make room for that shot.
Slower ball from Walter. Webster just waits for it and cuts it out to Pepper, patrolling the boundary. Oh, Aaron Beard, sorry, patrolling the boundary out here.
These two will be wanting to see this home now.
Yeah. Walter. Crowd getting a little louder. Charlesworth just defends. No need to take any risks now. 19 needed to win with 5 overs left. No need to even let Essex push the door ajar, is there?
The unorthodox should go back in the locker until it's needed.
Yeah, I agree.
Which oughtn't to be tonight, let's be fair. Don't forget though, Gloucestershire have another game tomorrow. They're down at Hove tomorrow night, where they've got a very good recent record down there. And you can follow that game tomorrow night with pictures on the stream and commentary from Adrian Harms and from Ed Seaborn.
Well, that was amazing. When was it? Last season, I think, down there, where they took the last few wickets for Zip, just as Sussex recently did to Yorkshire in the county championship.
Benkenstein back into the attack. Webster tries to go straight down the ground, gets it off the inside half of the bat, and you only pick up 1 as a result.
Bo Webster's probably never played on a track this slow in his life, and you know, he's actually learning as he goes, and he's not giving it away.
124 for 4, chasing 142. Benkenstein to Charlesworth, who again has gone aerial. Has he got enough of that? Yes, he has. That will go for 6 more. Down to the boundary at long on. And those who like the straight hits down towards the Ashley Down Road end have had 2 or 3 to admire tonight, and Charlesworth trying to finish this. Chops that away past umpire Paul Baldwin.
Well,
out to deep on the boundary where Aaron Beard does the fielding at point.
As we know, one of the Gloucestershire players lives in one of those flats there, and I think Ben Charlesworth's probably targeting his teammates' windows there.
Webster. He faces Benkenstein. That's gone straight down the ground too. That's all along the floor this time. And they're trying to finish this maybe in the inside 17 now, Gloucestershire.
So Ian, who would you go for your WOB competitions player of the match?
Harsh on Matt Taylor not to give it to him, but I think David Payne for his impact. First game of the season, 2 wickets in his first over, and to take 4 for 24.
Yeah, I think James Bracey deserves a mention as well. I mean, 49 runs. Cameron Bancroft as well. Their partnership has laid the platform. But yeah, for me, it's David Payne as well, just because of the impact he had. And I mean, he just snuffed out the Essex top order, who was so dangerous.
7 to win. Webster goes down the ground, and he's caught. It's well taken, right on the rope. That's Critchley who's pouched that. Webster does go for 19. He'll be a bit annoyed he hasn't seen it through to the end, but he's virtually got Gloucestershire home. And he's probably had quite an interesting evening with the bat out there tonight.
Yeah.
Because he's had to stick around whilst it hasn't really been coming out of the middle for him. No,
he hasn't, but he's done a job. And 7 runs needed now to win. I mean, it would need a miracle, wouldn't it? I mean, you know, water might have been turned into wine. People might have walked on water, but this would top the lot, wouldn't it, if Essex won this game?
Yes, I mean, if it was 18.5 overs, you might say this still had an outside chance, but at 15.5, it shouldn't happen. I think Dan will have the winning hit in the next over, probably. Van Buren to face Benkenstein, and he'll chop that away, and he will get 1 run. So 6 required. He's going to have the first T20 win of the season on his first appearance of the season.
But 180 here, which I thought was par. I mean, I think that would have been about right here. You know, that would have been another 44 off 4 with 5 wickets in hand.
Yeah, you do well to get that from here.
You would. But I think Gloucestershire would have also probably pressed the accelerator pedal a little bit harder, and they didn't have to take any risks 4 or 5 overs ago. I think Harmer's going to come back. Harmer and Rossington, the think tank here in this Essex side. The Sweet Caroline bellows out in BS7. The city of Bristol College over there, bathed in sunshine. Looking over towards the east. This year our commentary position's changed, isn't it? We don't get the sunsets over in the west, Ian.
No, we don't get the sun in our eyes either, Dan.
No, we don't. That's very true. Harmer, what can he do? Can he drag his side back into it? Van Buren works that one. Backward of square on the offside, down towards Klinger corner. He's only going to get 1.
So now then, you've got the off spinner turning the ball away from the left-hander, and Charlesworth is eyeing that short boundary.
Yeah, he is. Where's Charlesworth going to go here? To Harmer. Just off the back foot, punches it out to cover, where Sams does the fielding.
He's not going to give this away.
No, he's not. Just cut away just for a single. And Gloucestershire shouldn't give this away either. Dot balls are fine. You've got 3 and a bit overs to go. Don't panic. 4 runs needed for a win over last year's runners-up. Is this a statement from Marker Lane's side? Van Buren plays that out through the covers. Is it going to go away? No, it's cut off by Aaron Beard just before it gets to the rope. Charlesworth on 21, Van Buren on 4. But I like the look of this Gloucestershire side. That's cut away, scores level. 1 ball left to go in this Simon Harmer over. Essex bring the men in now. Charlesworth doesn't have to finish it off this ball. Harmer, crowd getting excited, goes over the top, and that's going to be it. Gloucestershire win by 5 wickets. Ben Charlesworth finishes on 22 not out. Graham van Buren on 5, and Gloucestershire defeat last year's runners-up Essex. That's a big win, Ian Randall.
And it's a win with 3 overs in hand as well, and that's an element that may come back to help Gloucestershire later on in the tournament if the table gets tight.
Yep, certainly.
The net run rate of a game like this will really help them. Give you the Gloucestershire card in full. Miles Hammond brilliantly caught by Harmer off Sams in the first over for 4. Then Bancroft and Bracey put on 83 together for the second wicket. Bancroft bowled by Benkenstein for 32. Bracey caught by Ben Allison off Beard for 49. Then it was a question of the remainder of the batting just contributing in bits and pieces. Webster caught by Walter off Benkenstein for 19. Jack Taylor again brilliantly caught by Cox off Critchley for 7. Charlesworth finished 22 not out, Van Buren 5 not out, and Essex, despite using 7 bowlers, came up short. Sams 3 overs 1 for 32, Beard 2 overs 1 for 20, Allison 1 over for 10, Harmer 4 overs for 19. Not even he could have such a big impact tonight. Critchley 3 overs 1 for 28, Benkenstein 2 for 24 from his 3 overs. Looks to have something about him.
Yep, certainly does.
Paul Walter 1 over for 8. I think people will be looking at this result tonight and they'll say, I missed out tonight. I couldn't come. I think I might have a look at this side against either Sussex or Hampshire next weekend. Don't forget the Somerset game as of today is sold out. So if you want to watch the side in Bristol over the next weekend, that's the 7th and the 9th, Friday evening, Sunday afternoon, 2:30, that's the family day. Do come down because this is a good start. They go to Hove tomorrow with a bit of a bounce in their step, Gloucestershire.
Yeah, certainly do. And New Broome under Mark Lane, who's got such pedigree in white ball cricket, and this was a trademark, wasn't it? It was trademark Mark Lane. I thought they did a really good job with the ball. They only gave away 3 extras. The disciplines were really good, and then Essex didn't have enough runs. But for me, it was David Payne at the top of the Essex innings who made the inroads, getting out Elgar, Rossington and Pepper, 3 dangerous batters at that top order in the power play. That just it flummoxed Essex. It absolutely discombobulated them, and David Payne, I think, deserves this award from the WOB competition.
Thanks for your company on the stream tonight, wherever you may have been watching. Thanks to James Healy on the cameras. Without him, you wouldn't get the pictures to you. David Payne has been given the Man of the Match award, and Dan and I will see you Friday of next week for the home game here against Hampshire. Just to remind you too that the game against Sussex tomorrow is on the stream, starting at 7 o'clock. Commentary, I'll just check it's 7 o'clock actually tomorrow, because it normally is at Hove. They start later than we do here in Bristol, and commentary will be from Adrian Harms and Ed Seaborn.
Are they on the same time zone?
No, it is 7 o'clock at Hove. It normally is. And just to confirm, that is the time the match starts tomorrow. But we leave you tonight with news of a Gloucestershire win at the start of this T20 competition by 5 wickets with 3 overs to spare against Essex. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and the team will see you tomorrow for the trip to Hove. Good night.
Great start to the campaign. There was a lot of talk last season that there needs to be more firepower, a bit more hitting ability, but there seems to be a bit more power, there seems to be more balance. How excited should fans be?
Yeah, very. I think you want a bit of firepower, you want a bit of hitting, like you say, but I think we need to play smart as well, and I think we did that well tonight. We bowled smart and then we batted smartly and chasing it down. It wasn't the easiest pitch to play on, so we still need to play smart. But like I say, bowling pack we've got is really exciting. We've got some real pace. There's some real pace on the bench as well to come in, so I think it's really exciting. Like I said, we've got a batting lineup and we're fine. We're going to really well the first couple months of red ball now. So they're taking that to work.
Well played tonight. Go inside and get warm. Many congratulations. You're the player of the match tonight. Thanks ever so much. David Payne, fantastic performance from him, getting Gloucestershire off to a winning start here at the City Unique Stadium. Thank you for your tremendous support. Don't forget, if you head to the Jessup Bar very shortly, indeed the players will be coming in for a signing session, so you can get selfies and autographs from your favourite Gloucestershire players. It has been a tremendous night under the lights to kick off the Vitality Blast campaign. We hope to see